And so we do get going here on a Thursday. Welcome to it. Gwynn and Chris on 97.3 The Fan. Chris Ello, Matt Skraby together in the Bill House Studios where we know how. Tony Gwynn Jr. is idle today, and we will be idle tomorrow, and so will a lot of people. Happy June 19th ahead of time. Day off tomorrow for everybody. And I'll be heading down to Texas, taking a ball game there at Globe Life Field, Skrabe.
It's kind of cool.
I have my friend, acquaintance of mine, Tony Gwynn Jr. Leaving me some tickets. I'll probably be sitting in the euchre seats up there in the top row.
You need to make sure. I love Tony, and he is a man of his word, but you need to make sure that he remembered.
That he remembers to do
yes.
it. I think I will probably double check. But the question is, you're Tony Gwynn Jr., right?
Yeah.
What kind of pull do you think he has for tickets at Globe Life Field? You think I'm sitting, above the Padre dugout? Am I behind home plate? Am I up in the loge?
I don't know if I should tell this story or not.
Or am I in the bleacher creatures?
I don't know if I should tell this story or not.
Well, you should.
I know.
So
I brought
go
it
ahead.
up. So a couple years ago, Tony said he would get me Padre tickets for my birthday.
Yeah.
And I was going to go to the game with my brother.
Okay.
And so I was like, this is going to be great.
It was here at Petco Park.
This is going to be great. We're going to have amazing seats.
The whole, right. Tony Gwynn Jr. I got the top notch.
And this was not anyone's fault.
Oh, let's hear him. Let's just blame him anyway. He's not here to defend himself. I was behind an
obstructed view.
Obstructed view?
I had to
You couldn't even see the field?
No.
Oh, my goodness.
It was in right field.
Oh, my God.
It was in right field, and it was like all the way back where the overhang comes over.
Yeah.
So like the TV blocked the field, and
so any pop-up went out of your view.
Couldn't see it.
Yeah.
That was the day that Jerickson Profar collided with somebody, and he had to get carted off. And so
at least you heard a rumor that happened.
Yeah,
we
didn't
actually see it.
We're like, who is that down there?
So you're telling me that there's a good chance tomorrow night when I go to Globe Life Field down there in Texas that the game may be a rumor. I may actually have to listen to the 97.3 what is it? The
Odyssey app.
Yeah,
yes.
The Odyssey app, so they can follow what's going on in the game tomorrow night.
I think this is going to be different because it's up to the traveling guy. I can't remember, TJ something.
I don't know how it all works. But,
and he asked the Rangers, and then the Rangers give you the tickets.
I would think the Rangers probably leave some decent seats for the visiting team.
I would hope so.
We'll see how it works tomorrow night, one way or the other. It'll be fun to go see a game, and I think always a little extra fun when you see your team on the road.
Yeah.
It's kind of a fun experience. You don't have all of your support of the home crowd, but I'll probably have my Trevor throwback jersey on.
Nice.
We'll probably be representing a little bit down there tomorrow night.
You're not gonna wear your Ryan Tannehill jersey to the Rangers
like I did to the
game?
Charger game. Yeah. Well, I wore my Ryan Tannehill jersey to the Charger Bronco game because I don't have either a Charger or a Bronco uniform. I had neither, so I went with what I felt was the next best thing. But for a Padre game tomorrow night, I'll be decked out in my blue and orange, and we'll hope that the Padres give me something to cheer about as they kick off a series. They got to face a guy that's pretty tough on them. Jason DeGrom. He's pretty tough on anybody. Jacob DeGrom. He's pretty tough on anybody. He'll be making the start for Texas tomorrow night.
The Padres just keep facing everybody.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Right? I mean, Kyle Leahy held him to 2 runs on 3 hits yesterday. It was the minor leaguer that the Cardinals brought in out of the bullpen in the 9th inning. Yes, Mr. Roycroft. Then we finally found a guy who we could hit. We blew him out of the water, but yeah, it doesn't really seem to matter to this offense, right? I mean, we've seen it all year. They can get shut down by some no-name number 4 starter in the American League Central just as easily as they can get shut down by a Jacob DeGrom. So this Padre offense seems to play no favorites when it comes to getting shut down. So, but look, yesterday they got a nice win. They tied the season high with 14 hits, and people are feeling a little better. And, I think everybody's saying to themselves, maybe quietly I'm seeing some signs that this offense is coming out of it. The numbers don't actually support that, to be honest with you. Padres are hitting .218, for the season as a team. And if that holds up, by the way, it'd be the worst National League batting average by any team since what year was that, Skraby? 1908.
The Spiders?
It wasn't even the Spiders. It was the Brooklyn
Spiders.
No, it's called the Brooklyn Super Bas or something. I've never even heard the word before. They were called the Super Bas, which back in the early 1900s was a reference to things that were superb. So they called the Brooklyn Super Bas. Anyway, 1908, they hit 213 for the season. No National League team has hit that low since. So the Padres are having a historically bad season.
You never want to be on a list with the 1899 Brooklyn Super Bas.
Don't want to be joining the Super Bas. No.
What the heck, man?
And I bring up the 218 overall average because what's their batting average in June so far? 218. It really hasn't changed. It's pretty much the same as it was. So, are there any signs they're coming out of it? I don't think so. Really, their overall OPS for the year is 652. That's last in baseball.
I mean, that is hard to believe.
Let me tell you something. It's not just last. It's last by a while.
Yeah.
Like they got to get 20 points to catch 29th place. So they're going to be last for a while, even if they get hot. And so that's 652. Well, their OPS in June is worse than that. It's 636. And they're last in June. So, we keep saying, they scored 5 runs this game. They got 7 that game. They hit 2 home runs or what did they hit? 4 home runs Saturday.
I think they hit 5.
Oh, you're right. They hit 5. So, you see that. You see, what happens yesterday. You say, maybe we're getting out of this. What you keep forgetting is that for every one game that they score 9 runs, there's 2 games where they get 1 hit, right? This Cardinal series was kind of the way it's gone.
Yeah.
You get 1 hit in the first game, you get 4 hits in the second game.
Yep.
And then you score, 6 runs and you feel like you did something. But the bottom line is you lost more ground. So how long this can continue? I have a feeling it's just going to continue unless, when you get to the trade deadline, AJ Preller comes in on his white horse and saves the day. I do believe that Manny is going to hit higher than 178.
I don't, Chris. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
I'm honest. I'm being honest. I don't know.
You're starting to wonder a little bit about Manny. Once again yesterday, I know he had the sac fly in the first inning, but that only came after he missed a hanging curve that back in the day would have been an easy 3-run homer for him. Like he wouldn't even have blinked. He would have just knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
Instead, he fouls it off. I mean, this has been happening all year. So, he's probably going to hit higher than he is, but I don't think he's ever going to get a much higher than 210, 215. I mean, just to raise your average to that, he's going to have to hit 350 the rest of the way. And I don't think anybody, sees that coming. So, Fernando, again, I know that there's a lot of love for what Fernando is doing lately. I get that part of it. The average is good. He's on base. He's stealing bases. But I think that's what he's going to be. I mean, people say, well, when it's all over, he'll have his 19, 20 home runs. I'm like, really? Are you sure about that? I mean, you really see him like all of a sudden just popping 18, 19 more home runs? The man has hit 2 home runs in his last 400 plate appearances. So where are these 18 home runs going to all of a sudden come from? So
I think that's at this point, I think that's wishful thinking.
It might be. So that's why I'm saying I think a lot of us through May, through the beginning of June, I think we say, okay, this is going to square away, right? These averages are going to come back up. These guys are going to start performing like they are or like they should. And I'm starting to think that maybe this is just the way they're going to be. Nobody said a word about Gavin Sheets because Gavin Sheets had a really good April and May. I don't know. Has he had a hit in June? He's been no contribution at all.
I think he hit a home run.
Yeah, right. But you know what I mean. Overall, he's been nothing.
No, he's yesterday we saw it on the screen. He was hitting 222 at some point during the game yesterday.
Yeah, he's way down there. Bogarts hasn't really done a thing since the end of April. Jackson Merrill, try as he may, have a 3-hit game yesterday. But what's he going to, is he going to come back with another one or is he going to strike out 3 times tomorrow night? I think you would have, You would certainly say the latter is a possibility. So I think this team might just not be able to hit. And, in order to change that, I think AJ may have to be the one that changes it. You say, well, what about the kids in the minor leagues? Hey, they've done a good job. Samad Taylor's been a 10 out of a 10. Will Wagner, been a 9 out of a 10. So those guys have given you contributions, but Samad Taylor's not going to turn into a 25 home run hitter the second half of the season. He's giving you what he can give you. So, and the other part of that, we talked about it on the roundtable today, and you'll have a chance to hear the roundtable in its entirety at 5:00, an hour of commercial-free Padre talk with all of us. But I threw this out there because Tony and I were talking about it earlier in the week. If you can't score runs consistently, they can't score. I get that they every now and again do score runs. Don't take me literally there. But if in general you're not scoring runs, your starting pitcher is stressing from the first pitch of the game. And I believe that as much as anything else is contributing to the kind of lousy starting pitching we've had lately. Griffin Canning is behind every hitter. Even if he gets an out, it's always from 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, almost every batter. Lucas Giolito, he has not found it yet. He's got more walks than strikeouts. Michael King is pitching as poorly as he has when healthy for the Padres as he ever has. Vasquez has gone backwards since April. I mean, could it be that Walker Buehler is our most dependable guy right now? Yes. Right, he is. Okay, you said yes, but how did that happen? Walker Buehler was the guy we were scared to death of the most in April. But what I think is happening is these guys are going out there very tentatively. They can't attack.
Fully agree.
They can't afford to fall behind 2-0 in the first inning.
No, they have to know in the back of their head their offense is going to do nothing for them.
And that puts extra stress. And what happens with that? You start nibbling. You start, you don't trust your stuff.
Then you're walking guys.
You walk a guy, then you make a mistake, and it is 2-0.
Yeah.
You can't challenge Alec Burleson with a fastball because if he wins, you're behind.
Yeah.
And that's just a tough thing. So really, if you add it all up and you're looking at it, it's really bottom line to me. If you said to me, are you happy with their record right now? And what's their record?
38 and 35,
I think. 38 and 35. If you ask me, are you happy with that record? My answer to you would be ecstatic.
That's a loaded question, Chris.
But it is. But you have to be ecstatic based on the statistics and the things that have happened out there.
Yeah.
How they have won 38 to 35 is almost impossible. When you consider no one hits, no one pitches, the starting pitchers, I mean, how are they doing it? Craig Stammen shouldn't just be manager of the year. He should be manager of the century for somehow coaxing some of this to happen. So
listen, if I said this last night on the Skraby show, if just one of these guys starts hitting to a degree where we're like, yeah, they're hot, it will help out so much.
Well, look, Fernando's doing some of that.
But he's not doing the power.
But he's not doing it with the slug. And so you're seeing, some market improvement, but nothing major. Here's I'm going to go back on Manny. We talked about Manny because everyone says the same thing. Look, he's going to hit 220 or whatever by the time it's over. It's just going to happen. Well, I'm going to take you back to game 47. Which is when the Dodgers were here. That's a while ago, isn't it? Right? Remember, they beat the Dodgers 1-0 in the first game. They went into first place, and then they lost the next two. And that is
18th.
Kind of okay. So that began their spiral. It's exactly a month ago. After that game, Manny was at 178. Now, here's his averages since then. I'll try to get it quickly. 179, 176, 174, 170, 173, down to 169, 171, a big game, 178, but right back down to 174 and 171 and 172. and so on and so on.
He's consistent.
Right. He's staying there. It's not like he's gaining ground. He's staying right where he's been for this, a long time here. 178 right now. Today, here we are, 177 a month later. So I hope he gets it together. I hope Fernando starts hitting some home runs and, give these pitchers a chance. Because I tell you, it's got to be difficult to go out there. And they're pitching like that. They're not pitching with the aggressiveness that I think, Ruben Niebla would like them to have. And you've got to have that confidence behind you. But you also have to know, hey, if I give up a run, it's okay. Just minimize the damage. I'll stay in the game.
Yeah.
Well, now a run seems like a mountain to climb. So anyway,
on they yesterday, go. Baby.
Yeah, right. Okay, so let's hope that's the beginning of something.
Yeah,
on they go. We're going to where, what was it? Slam Diego was born, down in Texas. So maybe that'll get stir some old memories.
I keep saying after every win, that was it.
That was the one.
I can't say that anymore because I have no indication.
And we say the same thing when Manny goes 2 for 4. We say,
that was it.
He looks good. He had a couple of doubles. He hit the ball in the screws. And then he goes right back and goes 0 for 4, 1 for 4, and 1 for 5. And you're like, well, that didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So, look, the great news, as I've said to anyone, is that they have not played themselves out of this. They are very much in this. So, with 90 games to go, 89 to be exact, if they play good baseball and hit and score and get back to it, get a little healthier here and there, they certainly can get where they want to go.
Yes, they can.
And once you get there, I know we've said this 100 times, but you get Musgrove back, you get Pivetta back healthy, and both those guys are pitching in September, and you got King back in form. That's 3 really good starters for a playoff series.
Heck yeah.
And you back it up with the best bullpen in baseball. Who knows, what could happen, but you got to get there.
Yeah,
and this offense, I don't think is going to get there. And I got to believe that AJ is starting to realize that. He's being as patient as he could possibly be.
We got to get to break. But on the other side, my YouTube question today, we're just going to spend a small amount of time on it. Are the Padres just average, Chris?
Okay.
Are they?
Well, in a word, yes.
Okay.
But I think you expand on that
a little bit. Not too much. But I was thinking today, what if we're cheering for a team that's just not what we think they are?
Yeah. Well, that's what we've been doing for 2.5, 3 months now, is cheering for a team that is not what we thought they were. That's exactly what we've been doing. And we hope that, it gets back to what we're expecting. Gwynn and Chris is underway. You can expect a good, fun 3 hours. And, you'll get angry at me. And, you'll probably think that I'm too mean to Skraby. All of that fun stuff's going to happen between now and 5 o'clock. Yeah, right. So stick around for that. And you soccer fans, look, Mexico's going tonight. Everybody south of the border. I have a feeling there's a little cerveza flowing down there. Getting ready for the match tonight.
Good thing they're not in Boston, because the Scottish people drank Boston out of beer.
Scottish people went crazy today. The U.S. plays tomorrow. We're going to have our guy from MLS, one of the best, I think, Brian Dunseth, breaking down the World Cup. That's coming up. And a whole bunch more on Gwynn and Chris.
Pretty good jolt into that one. Great swing, nice balance and weight transfer. And he got it to drop in out there in the deep part of the field.
And a dangerous hitter coming up to hit in Xander Bogaerts.
Ball.
Crushed. Left center field. This one's deep. Forget it. Xander Bogaerts blasts one out. It's their second home run of the inning. We take another look as StatCast tells us that ball took off at 110 miles an hour.
And plenty of distance as well. That wasn't.
Zach Maxwell taking over on the mound.
Well, they need someone to stop the bleed and keep the score right where it is. Seems like a tough task today with the way this lineup is swinging it.
Oh, 1 now. Smoke to the left, base hit. And the hits just keep on coming. Here's the rookie right fielder. A swing and a miss, and that's strike one. Close, but called a ball. Ball one.
That was absolute gas. Triple digits on the gun. It's just a different experience as a hitter watching that go by.
Pitch misses. 2-1.
He's just missing with some pitches that, I mean, they're not strikes, and that's what you think, oh, good pitch is a strike. But so many times pitchers are trying to tease the zone, and the last two pitches that he's throwing, good pitches, but even better takes.
The 3-1. And that's fouled off. Payoff pitch. Fouled off. And they'll do it again. Got him swinging. The high heat, too much on that one.
I see it more commonly in the sport these days, but man, a triple-digit fastball blown right by someone is still pretty awesome to witness. I mean, you got to be geared up and ready to swing it when a guy like this comes out of the bullpen, because that fastball.
That is the inning. But 2 round trippers. On now to the top half of inning number 2. Now the Reds cleanup hitter, Nathaniel Lowe. And ball one.
He's already pitching with a 4-0 lead, so we should see him be aggressive, fill up the strike zone, don't issue free passes.
Freddie Ferguson doing the umpiring duties behind the plate in this one.
Yeah, Freddie's a well-respected umpire, Boog. Maybe a little bit more of a pitcher's umpire. He does like to pitch down just below the knees or right about there, but most hitters are pretty good at covering that spot these days.
Swing and a miss. And the count is even, 2-2. Swings through that one. It's a strikeout. And now Spencer Steer. Fouled off left side. Here comes the 0-1. Machado. Over to first. Nice play off the bounce for the out. Next for Cincinnati, Will Benson.
Number 30, Will Benson.
That's a ball.
Hit in the air out towards left center field. Pretty well struck. He dives, but he can't make the catch. And that's a double.
Pretty good jolt into that one. Great swing, nice balance and weight transfer. And he got it to drop in out there in the deep part of the field.
And a dangerous hitter coming up to hit in Xander Bogaerts.
Ball.
Crushed. Left center field. This one's deep. Forget it. Xander Bogaerts blasts one out. It's their second home run of the inning. We take another look as StatCast tells us that ball took off at 110 miles an hour.
And plenty of distance as well. I mean, that wasn't.
Zach Maxwell taking over on the mound.
Well, they need someone to stop the bleed and keep the score right where it is. Seems like a tough task today with the way this lineup is swinging it.
Oh, 0-1 now. Smoked to the left, base hit. And the hits just keep on coming. Here's the rookie right fielder.
There's just a C. Average. Welcome back to Gwynn and Chris. The record actually says they're pretty average, 38 and 35. It's only slightly above. Crisello, Matt Skraby, together in the Odyssey Palace studios. All guests will join us on the SDCCU fan hotline. It's not big bank banking. It's better. Brian Dunseth, Apple TV, talking some World Cup with us in about 5 or 6 minutes. So don't go too far. Just quick update on your U.S. Open golf, Scrabe.
Yes.
You don't like to you get pretty excited for the U.S. Open. This
is my favorite tournament of the year.
Well, I know most people go with the Masters, and I get that. But the Masters, in some ways is kind of the same tournament. It's the same golf course. So you get kind of the same feel. U.S. Open is at a different course every year. This year it's in New York at what is it called? Shinnecock Hills.
Shinnecock Hills.
Got to be careful with that one.
But I don't know why Shinnecock gets to host so many of these.
They do a lot of them.
They do. It's a great golf course, but I'm tired of the East Coast always winning out.
Well, we had the Torrey Pines did get a couple of U.S. Opens.
Twice, but come on. That is a golf course venue that is perfect.
Yeah, I think we should have more. But I'm obviously probably a little slanted in my thinking there.
Me too.
But no, when I see Shinnecock Hills, the name, all I can think of is badminton.
Really?
Yes, because they call that little birdie thing a shuttlecock,
yes,
and that's the only word that I even think makes me think of Shinnecock. So
okay, all right, that makes sense. That makes sense.
All right, you're welcome.
Anyway, too many shuttlecocks and Shinnecocks being said right now.
Some guy named Sam Stevens, an American, shot 2 under. He's the leader in the clubhouse. Rory McIlroy was 1 under. And you told me he bogeyed his last 2 holes. So he actually had a shot to be a little better. Ludwig Oberg, another good player, is 1 under. Those are guys that are in the clubhouse. Just to update you, I didn't see Scotty Scheffler too high up there, Scrabe. I think he was a 2 over for the day, 72.
Yeah, he's tied for 73rd.
Wasn't a great day for Scheffler. An even worse day, unfortunately, for our friend and defending champion, JJ Spawn. I saw JJ way down there, and now I see him even lower. He shot a 7 over 77 today, so he's going to have a long way to go to try to get back in this tournament. And the thing that I like, and I think you like about the U.S. Open, it's so hard to score there.
They
will not. You get one birdie, it's like Mardi Gras.
Like this golf course is right near the ocean, so they have all of the ocean.
They got to deal with all of
that
that
just
breeze.
Wide open.
It is so tough, and I don't mind. I don't mind. Maybe I don't have to play it, so I don't mind seeing the pros really have to work at it. And I think it's the players who don't complain and take it as a big challenge who can win it. Well, I think some of the guys give it the old, wow, this is just ridiculous, and they hate the placement of the pins, and they complain the whole time. And well, okay, but you have to play the course, you might as well do it. I will say that a couple of guys are 2 under on the course right now, early in the round. Your guy, Bryson DeChambeau, is 2 under. You love him, and guy that I love a little more than that, Xander Schauffele.
Yeah.
So maybe since we had an Aztec win it last year, we could go back to back if Schauffele could be the U.S. Open champ. But it's very early.
That would be actually pretty awesome.
That would be good. It's quite early.
Did you say who's leading? Because this is my favorite part.
Right, I forgot about that. The leader is a guy that I think I played in my foursome with the other day at Balboa. He's some amateur named Ryder Cohen.
I love when
Cowan. I think maybe Cowan. He's an amateur. I don't even know how do you get in the tournament?
Well, you have to qualify. U.S. Open, you can sign if you have a handicap that's under a certain thing that's USGA approved. Right. They have certain qualifying sites, and then you start earlier.
Let a few guys
in. You have to play into it, and if you win your qualifying, you could. I actually had a friend playing. He's very good.
Yeah,
he's qualified for it, but he played that course and he shot 82, and he was like, "Wow, it really humbled me because I'm not that good."
Well, I'm looking at the leaderboard. There's about 7 or 8 amateurs in the tournament, and all of them are at the bottom, like on the leaderboard here. They're all shot 78, 80, 82, but not this guy, Ryder Cowan, -3. And is he done for the day?
No, he's on 10.
Okay. Well, so he's 3 under and 10 holes.
Yeah.
Check back with us in a couple hours.
Seriously.
We'll see where he is. He might be at plus
Look at
5
it's
by
getting
then.
windier. It's not going to be easy for
But
him.
he's 3 under right now. So you got an amateur leading the U.S. Open. That's the dream of everybody, right? To wake up one day as a good golfer and, play the round of your life. Now you're qualified. You're in there. You're rubbing elbows with these guys. And, you start chipping in from the fairway. And, right, that's the dream.
But then you win the tournament and you don't get any of the money.
That would be a bit of an issue.
That would be a bummer.
But would you not probably make some money advertising or something?
You're giving up the winner's share is probably like $2.5 million or more. Like that's what you're giving up as an amateur win.
Just an aside here, not that they'll have to do it, but if Ryder Cowan wins the U.S. Open, who gets the $2.5 million?
I believe it just goes down to the next professional.
Really?
Yeah.
So you could finish.
I'm not 100% on that.
Wow.
Let me.
So if you're in second place, you could root for Ryder Cowan to beat you, and you still get second. You get the money.
I guess you could.
You get all the money. That's weird. All right, you wanted to answer the question.
The reason I was thinking of this is because sometimes we think maybe we're overvaluing our team, and I think this team is not just average. I think they're above average, but they're playing average, and by virtue of the question, yes, they're average.
I think that that's what I was saying in so many words at the beginning. This is what they're hitting. This is not just an aberration, right? They're hitting 218 for the year. They're hitting 218 in June. This is what they're doing. Their OPS is last for the year. It's last in June. It's not changing. So, yes, I think they are what they are until AJ Preller comes in and finds somebody else to play and hit and turn this around. And I do believe that may have to happen because I don't think they'll hold up with the bats this quiet.
I got an update on the prize money.
Okay.
It does just go right to the next
guy.
Next professional golfer gets it. Bobby Jones was a winner of this earlier because an amateur won, and he took home Bobby Jones took home the first place prize.
So Rory McIlroy is sitting in third place, but he's looking maybe at second place money right now.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, he'll complain about something. He'll find something to complain. He'll be whining about something. You wait.
Oh my goodness.
You wait.
You can't.
He is not getting through the weekend without some whining. Rory McIlroy can't help himself.
You can't help yourself from disparaging Rory McIlroy.
The minute he whines this weekend, I'm texting you wherever you are.
Okay.
More Gwynn and Chris is coming up. Brian Dunseth on the World Cup. Do you have World Cup fever yet? I bet you're getting close after that first game. Game 2's tomorrow. We'll find out more about it when we return.
That was an exciting play all the way around, man. He ripped that thing into the gap, and a great effort, almost hauled it in on the dive, and would have been a beautiful play to save extra bases.
Catcher challenge. We'll take another look. And that just scraped the zone. The call is overturned. So they've still got both their challenges. Man on second, 2 down. And a swing and a miss.
Well, you got the hitter already chasing that nasty slider. If you're on the mound, you just want to expand this.
And he got him. Strike 3, and that'll retire the side. In the air out to center. Lays out, but he can't squeeze it. So now back to the top of the order.
Those plays are challenging for outfielders because of the chase to the ball. You know you have to do everything perfect just to track it down. Sometimes even that's not enough to make the catch.
Tatis in the box here lets that one go for a ball. Drilled out towards left center field. That's well struck. Way back there. It's got a chance. In to score from first. Back to second safely. Nearly got caught in between there.
Puts a run on the board and picks up an RBI. A well-deserved double on a great swing. Got everything going on time. He stayed balanced and he squared it up about as well as you could possibly ask.
Runner in scoring position, no outs. Jackson Merrill, the next up for the Padres. Tatis leads off second with nobody out. And that one is lifted in the air. Done. On his way over. He's got it. Tags up from second, and he'll head to third.
That's just a really nice catch on the run right there. He saved extra bases for sure. If the pitcher's his friend, he'll give him a second to catch his breath before he's ready to deal the next pitch.
France, the next to hit, takes ball one. Runner on at third, one gone. The 1-1. In the air, right field. Benson gets under it and makes the grab. Runner tagging from third. The relay throw. Safe! And they add to their lead as the run scores from third. And now Terry Francona makes it. New pitcher for the Reds, T.J. Antone. He's into the game with the bases empty. Machado now in the box, comes up empty with a swing there. Swing and a miss. That's the sweeper. Antone, 32 years old, and he was a 5th-round pick back in 2014.
Rarely will you see a pitcher just waste a pitch like that. The batter wasn't even tempted to swing. Every pitch needs to have a purpose so that it can set up a following pitch to help you get that out.
2 down, nobody on. And now it's 3-2. Out to center. And that's the 3rd out. So they get a couple of runs on 2 hits, no errors, and no one left on. We head on now to the top of the 3rd. It's the Padres 6 and the Reds nothing.
That was an exciting play all the way around, man. He ripped that thing into the gap, and a great effort, almost hauled it in on the dive, and would have been a beautiful play to save extra bases.
Catcher challenge. We'll take another look. And that just scraped the zone. The call is overturned. So they've still got both their challenges. Man on second, 2 down. And a swing and a miss.
Well, you got the hitter already chasing that nasty slider. If you're on the mound, you just want to expand this.
And he got him. Strike 3, and that'll retire the side. In the air out to center. Lays out, but he can't squeeze it. So now back to the top of the order.
Those plays are challenging for outfielders because of the chase to the ball. You know you have to do everything perfect just to track it down. Sometimes even that's not enough to make the catch.
Tatis in the box here lets that one go for a ball. Drilled out towards left center field. That's well struck. Way back there. It's got a chance. In to score from first. Back to second safely. Nearly got caught in between there.
Puts a run on the board and picks up an RBI. A well-deserved double on a great swing. Got everything going on time. He stayed balanced and he squared it up about as well as you could possibly ask.
Runner in scoring position, no outs. Jackson Merrill, the next up for the Padres.
The Sherlock Holmes of Sports Talk Radio is
that right?
He's got Brian Dunseth on the scent right now. He's trying to track him down. So.
I think Brian Dunseth is in Mexico, so it might be
one of this is something you all don't know out there, but I'll pass it along to you. There he is. When we call people to come on the show, and Skraby's not been able to change this, even though I've asked him to. Our phone call comes up as spam to the other person. So a lot of people don't like to obviously answer those calls. And so they don't. And we're here trying to get them on the show. You would think, Skraby, that's something we could work on, right? The spam issue. When you call somebody,
we've tried
and we can't seem to change it.
Yeah, we've tried.
Right.
The engineers had worked on clearing the number from some registry, and
our smartphone can track down the location of a bank robber in Charleston, South Carolina, but we can't change the fact that our phone says spam when we call.
Chris, I just heard that a space thing, I can't think of the name right now, Voyager.
Okay.
Just sent back a radio transmission from 24 hours away in light years.
Yeah.
But we can't
change the phone thing. So Brian Dunseth is a good guy. He's waiting for our call, and spam shows up. Brian, I don't blame you, but thanks for getting back to us. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. I wish it was as malicious as that, but unfortunately, being down here in Mexico for the start of the World Cup, my phone doesn't like American numbers. So it just doesn't seem up to allow me to answer any phone calls.
I gotcha.
So I end up having to call everyone back.
All right, very cool. Well, look, I mean, the World Cup in
That's
Mexico,
kind of annoying, actually.
It is, but I've heard it. Right?
Horrible.
I've been on, out of the country, and it's an issue, right? Every time. So, Brian, we appreciate it. It's good joining you, and I definitely want to talk about the United States, and that's number one on our mind. But you're in Mexico. We're close to Mexico. Mexico's in action tonight. They're in Guadalajara. Is it what everybody, like we're told here, that when another country plays in the World Cup, their match, the whole country stops? Does that apply to Mexico tonight at about 6:00?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you talk about this idea of a national pastime when we try to correlate what happens in the United States. I think the easiest way to kind of describe it is the way we kind of look at the Summer Olympics, the Winter Olympics. We maybe combine that and multiply it by a Super Bowl or an NBA Finals, probably inject it with some illegal steroids and put it on a rocket ship to the moon. And that's kind of what you get down here.
Yeah, it's all of that.
Yeah, I mean, and right now, it's for me, being a kid who was 16 years old in Southern California, couldn't afford tickets to the World Cup. You know, I was interning at the LA Convention Center just to be around the World Cup fever, and then going to the Rose Bowl and parking up on top and walking down into the bowl just to be around the games, see my heroes like Tony Meola, Alexi Lalas, Marcelo Balboa, John Harkes, Tab Ramos, Eric Winaldo, all who've become my big brothers afterwards. To understand that type of fanfare, and then to see all the throwback jerseys and the green jerseys and the white jerseys, and even the other night being part of Sweden, Tunisia, you know, walking into Monterrey Stadium and seeing all of these green jerseys and the passion in them, just wanting to enjoy their football, to be, you know, to effectively find a second team in the tournament. So yeah, I mean, everywhere you go down here in Monterrey, I mean, it's an incredible city. But then on top of that, I took a 5-mile walk today at the base of the mountains, and it seemed like every human being that I came across had some type of Mexico jersey on, and they can't wait for that game to kick off in a couple hours.
I love that.
Oh, it's going to be,
great.
you know, I mean, I feel it here, and we're, you know, north of the border, but I know everybody's excited, and, you know, their cerveza is flowing. You know, look, you talked about it, so I'm going to go in this direction. The U.S. team that played here, it's 1994 now. I know it's 30-something years, but I mean, you're kind of that generation, and I'm sure a lot of others are. That was as more important to soccer than we probably imagined it really ever was, because it created a lot of Brian Dunseths out there, right? When the whole tournament was here many years ago.
Yeah, guys, listen, I grew up in Upland, California. I ended up going to Cal State Fullerton for a couple semesters, and I had the opportunity to join Major League Soccer and be the youngest player in MLS and be the second guy they'd ever signed for Project 40. None of that happens without the U.S.'s commitment with FIFA to put on the 94 World Cup. I mean, I can specifically remember going down to Mission Viejo and watching the guys train and being just completely entranced with Bora Milutinovic. And, you know, every time he introduced himself, he was like, "My name is Bora, B-O-R-A." And it was like a mix of like Count Chocula and like this incredible like human being, gargantuan personality.
Anytime you can get a Count Chocula reference, that's
I think that's the first time we've ever mentioned Count Chocula.
Sure that's the first, but that's great. I love
right?
it. I love it.
But, you know, for me to see that up close and personal, and then, you know, to go to, what used to be the Big A, where the Angels play, or go to the Rose Bowl, or go to the Coliseum and see these battles against Paco Palencia and Claudio Suarez in Mexico, and see the fisticuffs and the shenanigans and all of these things. These guys, that World Cup allowed a young man like myself at the time, again, 16, my boy's 16, and I was just able to take my 3 kids during the coverage with Turner for U.S. to Germany over to Soldier Field, and just to see kind of through their eyes what they're witnessing right now, and then reminisce about what it meant to me. Again, without that 94 World Cup, there is no Major League Soccer. And we're not seeing this kind of generation of former players that are now parents, that are now seeing their kids in this generation of a World Cup, either playing in it or watching it. So I don't think it's lost on, having covered this team for TNT over the last 2.5 years, and watching the cycle change from Greg Berhalter, Mauricio Pochettino, and seeing kind of this sense of urgency against Senegal and Germany, and that absolute just legendary performance against Paraguay the other day. I think these kids recognize that, they're not young bucks. Tyler Adams was telling me, they were bright-eyed and bushy-tailed heading into Qatar, not sure what to experience or what to expect. And now they understand that experience. And I don't think it's lost on any of them. Take away the money, take away, the grander idea of superstardom. They recognize this is their opportunity to etch their name into stone as legends of U.S. soccer, the way the 94 group did.
Talking to Brian Dunseth here on 97.3 The Fan, the SDCCU fan hotline. It's not big bank banking, it's better. And I wanted to ask you, and I'm going to possibly mispronounce his name because I'm not great with it, but Folarin Balogun. Sorry, again.
Yep.
I've been trying.
Just go Flo. Just call him Flo. Flo Balogun.
That's it. I could do Flo. Flo is all good with me.
Thank you, Brian. I've been looking for a little help myself.
Yes. Flo actually was... He had emergency birth in New York City, so that's why he's able to qualify for this team. What does it say about the state of the U.S. men's national team that he actually chose them over being able to play elsewhere?
Yeah, listen, I think more and more what you're seeing is, when you dumb it down, take away any of the responsibility of a conversation about politics. When you dumb it down, there are a ton of nationalities that recognize that at some point there's this duality of figuring out whether they grew up in a Mexican household, they still represent the United States as an American Mexican, like we saw with Diego Luna. Yunus Musa, who was a part of the 2022 World Cup team, he had effectively 6 countries that he could have represented. Flo came through, obviously, similar to Tim Weah, birthed in the United States, went back to Europe, and had an opportunity to kind of work his way through, Arsenal, and now at Monaco. And I was told, Dunny, shut up, don't say a word, Flo's in town. And that was when there was this incredible push down in Orlando that we could have the number 9 of our dreams. He's different than everybody else. All due respect to Ricardo Pepi and Haji Wright, but physically the way he plays is a different style. And to see from day one the recognition of the fan base and the player that there was this duality of both wanting him to represent the U.S. men's national team, that when it finally came together, you could see that there was this dying commitment of loyalty to what the crest represented. And it is really, really fascinating because, like the game that just ended with Bosnia and Herzegovina, there's a guy named Esmir Bayraktarovic who has dual nationality. He actually played for the U.S., but elected to represent Bosnia because, the synthetic thread of the DNA of tugging at his heart was meant for him to represent Bosnia. So there's a constant duality in this conversation. But yeah, we're a better national team now having Flo Balogun commit 100% to the U.S.
Yeah, and this is my own personal problem that I'll never get over, but if it wasn't for the dumb offside rule where he's a half a foot behind the guy, he would have had a hat trick in the first half, and he would have gone right to the top of the legend status, but he still may get there before this tournament is over. Brian Dunseth is with us. All right, so what did we do so well against Paraguay, and can we do it again against Australia? I think that was the conversation that I felt was had more than any other after that match. Brian, we didn't just win 4-1. We deserved to win 4-1. Like, that's what I think got people and stuck with people.
Yeah, since 2022 in Qatar, and obviously the disappointment of losing to Netherlands in the knockout round, where I would challenge anyone to go back and watch that game because we played much, much better than the 3-1 loss dictates on paper. The reality is that this was the most complete performance we've seen from this group of players post 2022 World Cup in Qatar. It had everything that Mauricio Pochettino and his coaching staff had been preaching, and brings a different element of an interesting conversation. Obviously, we are completely entranced with Lionel Messi and what he continues to do with Argentina. But people sometimes forget that Mauricio Pochettino played in the 2002 World Cup for Argentina. And having grown up in Rosario, the same exact city as Lionel Messi, there's been a constant chatter and a constant, it's kind of like a line was drawn, or there was a watermark drawn in terms of a challenge for these players to recognize that when the United States calls, this is a phone call that you have to pick up, you have to answer, because there's in no way, shape, or form an opportunity for you to turn it down. It just goes against everything that Mauricio Pochettino has preached. On top of that, having been around, again, from day one and covered virtually every single game of Mauricio Pochettino's tenure, there's a constant sense of urgency that's necessary the moment that they cross those white lines. And in training, you can see right before they take the field, and we weaponize the word vibes, and I understand that, but there's been a culture set, and there's like a vibe, and there's just like a feeling amongst a group of brotherhood. But then when they cross that white line, all of a sudden there is a barking mentality and this intensity from he and his coaching staff that goes to the goalkeepers all the way to the strength and conditioning coaches. So I think what we've seen is just this incredible sense of urgency on both sides of the ball. Credit to U.S. Soccer. They were very, very intelligent with the idea of trying to predict who was going to be in their group. They played against Turkey. They played against Australia. They played against Paraguay. So there's a familiarity of what the sense is going to look like when they step on the field. But I don't think anybody in their right mind, and if they tell you they predicted it, they're absolutely lying, because that was a performance that I think we were all really, really impressed with. I think some could say surprised with, but at the end of the day, that's the type of performance that we need as a general soccer fan base to convert all of the other fans around the United States that look at this and kind of understand that this team could be kind of our U.S. Olympic type of moment that we find every 2 to 4 years.
Yeah, Brian Dunseth is with it. I don't expect everybody to call in sick to work tomorrow, although it is Juneteenth, so a lot of people will have work off. But I think a lot of the country is going to stop what they're doing at noon tomorrow, to watch, especially if they miss the first one. They're going to say, whoa, everybody's talking about this. What did I miss? It'll be interesting to see how they play. It's not going to be easy. Australia won their first match as well. It's tomorrow at noon, and then on they go. I got 2 seconds left, Brian. Does the win mean now that the quarterfinals and beyond is way more doable than we thought before the tournament, or did we overreact to the win?
No, I think at a bare minimum, it basically preserves the opportunity to go through as the third best team in the group. God forbid anything else go wrong.
Right.
But I can promise you that this team isn't going to rest on its laurels. They are as hungry as you can possibly be. And fascinatingly enough, Australia as a nation has kind of rallied around some of the comments of the media pundits here in the United States to kind of villainize this idea of us disrespecting what Australia has done and the combative nature of what we saw back in October in Denver, Colorado, when the U.S. beat them 2-1. So I guess here's my play. If you guys want to see players getting crunched all around the field, if you want to see this manipulation of each other as well as the referee, I call it the dark arts, as well as some spectacular physicality and technical ability that comes along with it. This is the game to watch. And by the way, it's in Seattle, one of the soccer hotbeds of the United States historically, with the Seattle Sounders who participated in the NASL back in the day, the days of the New York Cosmos, the days of Pele. So it couldn't be a better afternoon tomorrow up in Seattle for this game to take place.
I'm pumped up now.
All right, too bad we don't have more time because Skraby just told me you're doing the Japan-Tunisia match on FS1 Saturday night. So I was going to have you do like a half-hour breakdown for us, but we'll have to get that next time.
Yes.
Good news. I finished my notes, so I'm ready to go.
Okay.
Whatever you need, let me know.
We'll have a good call Saturday and enjoy all the soccer. And thanks as always for joining us, man. We appreciate it. Well, hopefully we'll catch up to you down the road here in this tournament.
Looking forward to the next conversation, guys. Thanks
Very good. He's so good at it too. Brian Dunseth, Apple TV, and also going to be calling the match for Fox FS1 on Saturday night. It's a good assignment, man.
But I should mention that he comes to us via Apple TV.
Yes, they're kind enough to let these guys come on.
Out.
And we've had these guys on, as you all know, throughout the seasons here with the SDFC, and they've been so good to us.
It was the best random coincidence ever that we got these guys on the show. The guy, he was in charge. He just got the job or something. He was in charge of just finding places to put guys on. Found my email. Boom.
I think we've enjoyed them, but I think they've enjoyed coming on with us. I think we all have a good time when they come on, and it's fun talking soccer with those guys. And look, we're all, I shouldn't say all of us. I know a lot of you are already there, right? You're soccer crazy. It's in your blood. But the majority of us are still, I hate to say it like this, we're still newer to the party. And, we want to be brought in. We want to be invested. You win 4-1 again tomorrow. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but you do that again, you're going to have a lot more people.
Chris is getting
jumping
a US
on the bandwagon.
National team tattoo.
I'm getting pride, Skraby, some pride.
Some American pride.
Dare I say, USA.
USA.
More Gwynn and Chris coming up. Somebody wrote in on the chat. The guy sounded like he was contractually obligated to do the interview.
It was a joke. Gonzo's a funny guy.
It was a joke because I was just going to answer to that. I mean, I've had interviews with people that are contractually obligated to be on.
Yeah.
And you know it when they're not into it.
You want to know when our next contractually obligated interview will be? 420 when Sam comes on the show to talk about his World Cup game. That's a guy who's going to sound contractually obligated.
Sam Levitt is going to be on. He was at the World Cup match today, right?
Yep.
In LA.
Yep.
So he's going to file a report and give us a little more color from the World Cup later in the show.
He's a huge Swiss Bosnia-Herzegovina
evidently,
guy.
yes. He went out of his way to go see that match, and so we'll see what he has to say about the I will say this. All of the people, Ziegler, was kind of the one that got me thinking about it at the beginning because he was telling us, all of the negatives and the money and the price gouging and the tickets weren't being sold and everyone was unhappy. That hasn't really come about, at least that I've seen. All I've seen is jam-packed stadiums and fans having the time of their lives.
Have you seen some empty stadiums? There have been.
You have? Okay.
The FIFA made the excuse that when the picture was taken, everybody was on the concourse getting refreshments and stretching their legs.
Okay, so there's been a few examples
but
of
that excuse, that is the most ridiculous excuse. How do you know? How do you know that they're stretching their legs at that exact moment?
Because that fits your narrative.
Of course.
But what I've seen is a lot of excitement for the World Cup. So I think a lot of the negativity surrounding the event, stuff that, really upset a lot of people. They're raising the price of this and that and the parking and the gouging. I totally hate all of that. But it doesn't seem like it's affected everybody, right? People have been into this.
I have talked to that is my friend went up to the game with his son. He said he paid an arm and a leg, but he said it was the greatest thing he's been to because his son's really into soccer. And
we'll see how much Sam paid today. Now, Sam,
I'm not going to ask him that.
Well, I will. And here's the thing. You and I could have, taken a day to go, but we don't make enough money.
No.
Sam Levitt does.
Yeah, he's a TikTok star.
Right. He makes a lot of extra money, so he can go pay for a soccer ticket. All right, let's do some Daily Gambit. We haven't done that in a while. Got some games to talk about tonight. Mexico's in action, and so is Canada. They get underway soon. So let's get into some of that.
Do you like money?
I think about money a lot.
Do you like money without doing anything?
Winning.
Do you want to make money while watching sports?
I think Washington is immortal luck.
Washington! Woohoo! If you answered yes, this is your segment. Just don't blame us when you lose.
Nothing is ever your fault.
It's your game. Take it.
Gwynn and Chris go through the top bets of the day in The Daily Gambit on 97.3 The Fan.
Daily Gambit is our daily sports betting segment here on Gwynn and Chris. Please, everybody, gamble responsibly. Please, we mean that.
By the way, speaking of excitement in the World Cup, did you see the entire country of Democratic Republic of Congo when they scored yesterday against, I forgot who they played. I'm sorry about that. I'm not crazy enough to remember. Oh, Portugal, Congo.
Oh, that's a big
right.
Then
they ended up 1-1 against Ronaldo and the whole thing.
Yeah.
But it was the first time the Congo had ever scored a goal in a World Cup match, and I swear every single person that they showed on camera in that nation went out of their minds. I somewhat am jealous.
I somewhat am jealous of the pride that they feel.
Yeah,
but
just one goal.
Yeah,
it was a New York Knicks ticker tape parade for the whole country because they scored a goal.
That's very cool. That's very cool. I mean, a small country like that, a country that doesn't have the most money in the world, and taking on Portugal and being able to tie them,
a powerhouse.
That's huge.
There's been a lot of interesting results, and that was one of them. So. All right.
Yeah, we don't have any bets to talk about.
Let's go.
So.
Canada's getting started against Qatar. They're playing at the BC Place in Vancouver. Canada did not exactly look great in their first one. I think they ended up with a 1-1 draw, but they're favored by 1.5 goals over Qatar. I guess they don't think much of Qatar.
That sounds like
Qatarians.
I was going to say that sounds like a football spread of like minus 15.
I know, to win by 1.5. By the way, every time I've ever heard somebody officially describe the country, they call it Qatar.
I've heard that too, but I've also heard Qatar, so I have no idea. I think Qatar is way more fun to say.
Yes, and when you say Qatar, nobody knows what the hell you're talking about, right? Everybody's like, what are you talking about? Then when you say Qatar, they go, oh, yeah, Qatar. Okay. It's kind of like when you say, I read it on Twitter. It's not really Twitter anymore. But if you say X,
no,
people don't, always get it.
I think that, side note, one of these days, someone's going to do a case study. That's going to be the one brand that no one was able to actually change because everybody I know still calls it Twitter.
I do too. All right. So what do you want here?
Okay.
You're going to give a goal and a half? That seems like a yeoman's job here.
I'm going to stand proud with my Canadians.
You're going to do it?
Yes, my friends to the north.
The Great White North wins 2-0 today. I'll give them a goal and a half, but I don't feel great about it. Mexico is favored by a half goal over South Korea tonight in the big matchup in Guadalajara. I can't take South Korea. I mean, I got the whole country of Mexico right there listening to the show. I'm going to go with Viva Mexico.
I don't see how this team can play in front of that crowd and not.
They should
win.
be just so geeked up. They did not play to the liking of their own fans in the first match.
Had to be nerves.
Well,
I mean, they're playing in their own country. This is big time for them.
But they got ahead 1-0, and they kind of sat on the lead, and people were like, let's go. Get down there.
Okay. So Padres fans are
right. They were not happy with a 1-0 lead. They wanted more. You could take in Mexico?
Yes.
All right. Which match will have more goals? The Canada-Qatar match or the Mexico-South Korea match? Obviously, this could end in a push, but if it doesn't, which match will have more goals? You break it down there.
I know that Mexico and South Korea are very good. Yes, Pele.
What do you have here for us?
I'm going to go Mexico, South Korea.
Mexico, South Korea. All right, here's my thinking on this. That the worst team of the four that is playing is Qatar. So they're going to give up the most goals. So I say that match has the most goals.
All right, that's fair.
But I have no idea.
That's fair.
All right, we get into a little baseball. David Weathers is still pitching. Ryan Weathers. His dad was David Weathers. 6 strikeouts tonight versus the White Sox. Are the Yankees? I know the Yankees are having a good run here. They've been, I think, 9 or 10-4 since Judge got hurt.
9-4.
But man, if Ryan Weathers is on their staff,
he's been on their staff all year.
How good can the Yankees really be?
You said 6.5
strikeouts against the White Sox tonight. No. Over under. I think I'm up first.
Oh,
I have faith in Weathers.
Ryan or Larry, or not Larry?
David.
Larry is Gavin Sheets' dad.
Gavin Sheets' dad. Yeah, it's funny. I've been around so long. I call all of these players by their dad's names because that's what I remember them as.
Hey, Frank Gore's kid's in the NFL now, so.
But at least it's Frank Gore Jr., right?
That's true.
So you can remember his name.
That's a good point. I'm going to go under.
Under? I'm going over. Yankees 1.5 over the White Sox. By the way, it is the AL Central. Cleveland won today at Milwaukee, so the White Sox are back into second, a half game back. But still, I don't care if it's a bad division. The White Sox, a year and a half ago, were the Rockies, right?
Yeah.
Remember, they were like 40 and 120.
I was in Chicago when they were during that losing streak where they lost like 20-something straight games.
Right.
And the radio was just like having the greatest time with how bad they were.
Yeah. I mean, it has turned. Will Venable gets some of the credit. Obviously,
the GM does too.
But yeah, they had to bring some players in there, and they've done
Chris
that.
Getz is the GM,
so they're a half game back. I'll take your pick. Yankees minus 1.5.
I'll take the White Sox to rough up.
I'm going to take the
Ryan
White
Weathers.
Sox as well. Oh yeah, Ryan Weathers is pitching. I'll take the Sox. We got a good WNBA game. If you're going to watch one tonight, might be the one because it's Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark, and that has become almost bigger than the WNBA. Which I don't know that that's good for the WNBA.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's almost when these two go at each other, we almost don't want to watch the actual playing of the game. We want to see who's going to do what to whom.
And that's not why the media.
Right? But that's not why we should be tuned in. But that is why a lot of people will tune in. Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese. It's been a thing since college, and it's continued in the WNBA. Atlanta's favored by 1.5 points. I'll take Caitlin Clark at home. Getting the points. Indiana gets points at home.
Indiana -1. Yeah, I'll go with
Atlanta -1.5.
Atlanta, yes.
All right, Caitlin Clark -5.5 points against Angel Reese. This is scoring. Caitlin Clark -5.5 against Angel Reese.
Angel Reese scores like 11 points, 15 rebounds off of her own shot.
You know, they don't call them rebounds. Me-bounds, they call them.
It's still funny to me. I'm going to go with Angel Reese.
Angel going to take the 5.5 points.
Yep.
Caitlin Clark scores 23 tonight and lets Angel Reese know about every single one of them and then wonders why Angel Reese gets mad late in the game.
See, I don't see her doing that.
That's what Caitlin Clark does.
I don't think she does.
For better or worse.
I don't think she like straight up trash talks into their face.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe I need to watch
absolutely
more.
Does.
Maybe I need to watch more.
She absolutely trash talks in the face of her opponents. And if you trash talks in the face of Angel Reese, there is going to be a response. You can bet on it. All right. Angel Reese, 13.5 knee bounds. She gets that in her sleep. I'm going to say over. She's leading the league in rebounds. However she gets them, she's leading the league.
Yeah, I'll go over as well.
All right. And then one more baseball, which I ran over. The guy's name is Zach Geloff.
Oh, yeah.
For the A's?
Yep.
He's got a 21-game hitting streak right now.
Good job.
Best in baseball. So over under a half a hit for him tonight against the Angels. Does he keep the streak going against the Halos? It's going for 22 in a row.
Yeah, why not?
Over.
He does hit a lot.
It is the Halos, so I'll say over. I don't even know what position he plays. Zach Geloff.
Something tells me second base.
By the way, a former Padres sighting last night, Ryan O'Hearn had like a home run and 6 RBIs, and
he didn't choose us, Chris.
It's rubbing it in is what is happening, right? I mean, CJ Abrams is out there. James Wood seems to homer almost every game now. On a team with no offense,
are we rethinking the trade now?
No, we're not.
Yeah, it sounds like we're doing that.
I know. I can't go back, but it's just making it more painful to watch us not be able to score. And then all these guys are just out there knocking the cover off the ball.
Zach Geloff, second base, third base, center fielder.
You're on it. All right. We will. That's it for
I can't believe we just went back to the trade, the Juan Soto trade.
I saw something today that I didn't like, which isn't really an upset.
I was going to say, what is that?
Here's what I saw, and then we'll go to break. Right now, the favorite on the odds to win the NL MVP is your guess. Favorite to be NL MVP. It's a blowout. It's not even close. Ohtani. But who's second choice in the balloting for NL MVP right now on the odds? So the odds makers.
O'Hearn.
Yeah, right. No, even worse than that, honestly, to me.
Who?
Juan Soto.
Oh.
Like, really? His team is in last place.
And he's been hurt.
He's
been back for a while now.
I just the unbelievable infatuation with Juan Soto.
Oh, his numbers do look good.
Drives me crazy.
His numbers do look good. 15 homers, hitting 297, OPS of 948, 36 RBIs.
Yeah, guess what? His batting average would be 300 if he ran out a ground ball once in a while. I know. Look, I can't get past all that. And I know I should. I get it. Get off your lawn, the whole thing. But I can't. I don't feel I'm asking too much of a professional athlete who makes, even if they made $30,000 a year, but to run hard 4 times a night. I don't think that's too much to ask. And I know I'm, get over it already.
Personally, this argument will never be won by anybody.
I think I lose this argument. I think people hear me and they say, stop complaining about it. And I'm like, well, I can't stop complaining about it.
But why?
I hate it.
Why? I know why you hate it. I do know why you hate it. I'm not necessarily against you on this, but why get so
worked up about
it?
I don't know. It goes back to Steve Fisher, who said, don't make me coach effort. I just think effort is one thing you can bring, and everyone should bring to what they're doing at all times.
It's one thing you can control, too.
I believe it is. And, it bothers me. Canada.
Go! I'm not going to keep going.
The Habs are on the board against Qatar.
It was a nice goal, too.
Unless they wait
Boom.
a minute. Are they going to take it back on the offside deal? Okay, no, it counts. Yeah. All right, 1-0 Canada's on top. Gwynn and Chris continues. think we have a fair complaint. Canada's playing and leading 1-0 over Qatar. But what Canada is doing wearing all black uniforms is just beyond me.
It's very strange. And the entire stadium's wearing red.
Right. I've never seen Canada wear anything but red in any event, in any sport ever.
The only red is like a patch on their chest.
Yeah. So anyway, we have a complaint with that. All right, a couple of quick things.
I filed it with the fashion police.
Thank you. And they could file a lot of stuff against you and I in return.
And guess what? I don't care.
We would lose. I mentioned Ohtani's the NL MVP favorite right now by the odds. Soto is second, which I didn't like. Corbin Carroll is third. He hit his 5th grand slam of his career yesterday. That's a lot of grand slams for early in his career. Your boy Schwarb is 4th, and James Wood is the number 5 choice right now. James Wood and Soto have almost the same statistics. But I did notice James Wood has already struck out 102 times this year.
Yeah, he strikes out a ton.
I didn't realize that his BABIP must be enormous.
Let me see.
Like when he hits the ball and it's in play.
Yeah,
because
batting average on balls in play.
Right, because 102 times he struck out, he doesn't even put the ball in play.
Let me see.
On the American League side, if you're wondering who the MVP favorite is at this point in the season, I think this is a good choice. But his team's not doing very well. Yordan Alvarez, and he's right there in the MVP. Bobby Witt Jr., his team is in last place, is number 2 on the list. And this guy, you talk about a guy that's come out of nowhere to become a great player very quickly. Nick Kurtz of the A's.
Yeah.
He and Ben Rice of the Yankees are tied for 3rd in the MVP race. Mike Trout's on this list. Is that just the law?
It has to be.
I mean, is Mike Trout really having an MVP type of year?
No, not even close. Not even close. I just looked. His BABIP for this year is 360 with the MLB average being 290.
That's Wood.
Yeah.
So when he hits the ball, he
has good success when he makes contact, but then he just strikes out.
NL Cy Young favorite. Who you got right now? Skraby.
NL Cy, it's got to either be like Chris Sale or Shohei Ohtani.
Nope, neither.
Really?
And neither of those are even top 2.
Mizorowski.
Yeah, absolutely. He's coming off the game of his life and everyone's life.
I mean, he does deserve
15 strikeouts, 1 hit, under 100 pitches.
Yeah.
We were criticizing him, you and I, that he could never go more than 5 innings. He's breezing past that now. So he looks unhittable. Sanchez for the Phillies is second. Skeens is only 4th in the MVP ballot.
He hasn't had that great of a year.
He's been slumping for him. Who's 10th in the NL Cy Young?
Randy Vasquez.
Mason Miller seems a little low.
That's cool.
Seems a little low though.
They need to start winning some games so he can start closing some games. AL Cy
Young right now, you'll never guess, I don't think, unless you are a really good fan.
Just give me the team.
I can't, because that would probably give it away. American League.
I know, but
that's my division. I'll tell you who's in 3rd place: Jacob deGrom. 2nd place, Dylan Cease.
Oh yeah,
thanks Dylan. Appreciate all the help.
I'm trying to think if I have this guy in my fantasy.
I don't think you have this guy, but whoever does is enjoying it. Cam Schlittler.
Oh, yes.
Is the AL Cy Young favorite right now, believe it or not.
Very good.
And Rookie of the Year favorite at this moment in time. American League, I feel like the Padres just sent this guy on his way. Kevin McGonigal of the Tigers. He's the favorite over Murakami of the White Sox.
Murakami getting hurt doesn't help.
He got hurt, so that's dropped him back. The National League Rookie of the Year, the Padres just faced this guy. JJ Weatherholt is the guy. Sal Stewart. Bryce Eldridge has already moved up to number 3 on the rookie list.
I mean, he's had like 4 good games.
He's done well. Good enough, I guess. And here's the thing. I mentioned Mason Miller, but if you're looking for the Padres to have any love anywhere in anything individual, you can forget it. And you can't argue it. And I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. The All-Star balloting just came out through June 15th. So that's a couple days ago. Top 10 catchers, Padres, nobody. The leader's Drake Baldwin. Padres have no one. First base, Padres, no one. Freddie Freeman leads. Second base, Padres, No one.
Not even Fernando, huh?
Well, he's not in the balloting. They don't consider him a second baseman. That's why. But they have nobody. Albies is the leader. Shortstop, Padres, no one. CJ Abrams is the leader. Even Hassan Kim is 6th.
Oh, that's crazy.
Right.
That is absolutely
Third
insane.
base is where we get our first mention. Manny, but he's only in 6th place.
I mean, does he deserve to be higher?
No.
Exactly.
He doesn't. Muncie's on top. DH, we get a mention. Miguel Andujar is 10th. Otani is the runaway leader there. And if you're looking for some love in the outfield, the highest we got, Fernando, is 19th.
No Jackson. I'm just asking the question. I'm just asking the question.
3 outfielders, if it were today, are Pajes, Acuna, and Brandon Marsh. The bottom line is we're not the only ones who know the Padres are doing absolutely nothing. Everyone is aware.
Think about it. First base is kind of up in the air. We don't have a first baseman that we could say is the starter.
Is the everyday first baseman?
Second base, it's Fernando now.
But it's in flux to a certain degree.
Shortstop is Xander.
Yeah, but he didn't make the top 10.
Third is Manny.
Yeah.
Catcher, I mean,
we just
basically have to hit above 200 to be in the All-Star
We basically have no All-Stars other than Mason Miller. And if there's anything other outcome to that, I'll be surprised.
And yet they're still 38 and 35, Chris.
That's what we said at the beginning. It doesn't make a lot of the black shirts of Canada have struck again. 2-0 for Canada over Qatar. By the way, I mentioned this to Frank as we came in. I've watched the World Cup now for, a week? And I watched all the other World Cups, before this one. Don't think I've ever seen an actual goal scored live.
Oh, come on.
It just never happens.
On.
If I look down.
You DVR, though. So that makes it not live ever.
Yeah, fair. But anyway, I missed both goals today, is what I mean.
We'll just stare at the screen until another one is scored.
Yeah, I can't do that, Skraby. I'll fall asleep. It is still soccer. 2-0. Canada leads. Mexico plays later tonight. The U.S. tomorrow. It's World Cup crazy. And we'll tell you what else is going on in sports, including Jalen Brunson's reaction to the crowd at the Knicks ticker tape parade. Potty mouth Jalen. Find out a little bit more when Gwynn and Chris continues.
From the first pitch.
Thank you for listening to 97.3 The Fan. Be back shortly. I would be back shortly if the thing will click. See, I'm clicking. I have no idea what's happening. It's not playing any commercials right now. Well, this is just great, everybody. Let me see if I could try to start another one. All right. Well, this is awesome. On the air right now with no help. And there are no commercials to be played. Actually, you know what I'm going to do, everybody? You're getting a real live thing right here. This is real live Matt Skraby. I'm going to have to restart Wide Orbit real quick. So goodbye, Wide Orbit. It's not even closing. I'm going to text Adam, and I'm going to say, Adam, I tried to go to break, and the commercials did not play, and the program won't shut down. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have to do some Control-Alt-Delete over here. Control-Alt-Delete. Okay, I got it. Task Manager. It's not coming up. There it goes. Task Manager came up, everybody. I have no idea. I'm way too generous with my stroke giving. Never mind.
Are you really?
Never mind.
Wait.
I did not mean for that to happen. I did not.
That sounds like a promo to me.
Skraby's giving out strokes. I can't wait to hear that one. I'm going to laugh for a while on that one.
Nate says, Skraby, maybe you should date her.
You might be a generous stroke giver, but I don't think she really wants to leave her boyfriend for that.
All right, that was good. In full disclosure, I'm reading this. Tony can't gather himself right now. That was a good one, Chris. That was a really good one. So I saw this at 7-Eleven, and I had to get it. It's called the One Chip Challenge. It was sitting there in the aisle, and I thought, why not? Because I am into spicy stuff. But this thing looks pretty hot. I'm not going to lie. It says a Reaper pepper and a Scorpion pepper. It's also in the shape of a coffin, which doesn't make me very happy about that. It doesn't make me feel good. Oh, extreme heat, it says. I'm going to try a little bit first, just so I don't die, I guess. That's the thing I'm saying. This looks... I don't even know if I should be eating this. It looks like it has mold or something, but let's see how hot it is. Let's go. There's a little bit of spice there. It's going. Oh man, this is hot. Not that bad though. I still have this side to go. It is getting hot. I'm not gonna lie. My mouth is like getting crazy. Now it's kicking in. I'm not sure if I'm gonna finish this. Honestly, it's getting serious. I gotta go with the milk. My mouth is dying right now. Yeah, this is not fun, guys. Never gonna do that again because my mouth is on fire. Thank you for listening to 97.3 The Fan. Be back shortly. I would be back shortly if the thing will click. See, I'm clicking. I'm clicking. I have no idea what's happening. It's not playing any commercials right now. Well, this is just great, everybody. Let me see if I could try to start another one. All right. Well, this is awesome. On the air right now with no help, and there are no commercials to be played. Actually, you know what I'm going to do, everybody? You're getting a real live thing right here. This is real live Matt Skraby. I'm going to have to restart Wide Orbit real quick. So goodbye, Wide Orbit. It's not even closing. I'm going to text Adam, and I'm going to say, Adam, I tried to go to break, and the commercials did not play, and the program won't shut down. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have to do some Control-Alt-Delete over here. Control-Alt-Delete. Okay, I got it. Task Manager. It's not coming up. There it goes. Task Manager came up, everybody. I have no idea. I'm way too generous with my stroke giving. Never mind.
Are you really?
Never mind.
Wait.
I did not mean for that to happen. I did not.
That sounds like a promo to me.
Skraby's giving out strokes. I can't wait to hear that one. I'm gonna laugh for a while on that one.
Nate says, Skraby, maybe you should date her.
You might be a generous stroke giver, but I don't think she really wants to leave her boyfriend for that.
All right, that was good. That was good. In full disclosure, I'm reading this. Tony can't gather himself right now. That was a good one, Chris. That was a really good one. So I saw this at 7-Eleven, and I had to get it. It's called the One Chip Challenge. It was sitting there in the aisle, and I thought, why not? Because I am into spicy stuff. But this thing looks pretty hot. I'm not going to lie. It says a Reaper pepper and a Scorpion pepper. It's also in the shape of a coffin, which doesn't make me very happy about that. It doesn't make me feel good. Oh, extreme heat, it says. I'm going to try a little bit first, just so I don't die, I guess. That's the thing I'm saying. This looks... I don't even know if I should be eating this. It looks like it has mold or something, but let's see how hot it is. Let's go. There's a little bit of spice there. It's going. Oh, man. This is hot. Not that bad, though. I still have this side to go. It is getting hot. I'm not gonna lie. My mouth is like getting crazy. Now it's kicking in. I'm not sure if I'm gonna finish this. Honestly, it's getting serious. I gotta go with the milk.
A lot to get done. We're about halfway home here on a Thursday. Don't forget at 5 o'clock, a replay of today's Padre Roundtable, an hour commercial-free Padre talk. Our guest today was great, and didn't know much about him coming in. Padre blogger who does the Letters to AJ blog.
Yes.
And I thought, all right, Adam couldn't really find anybody. You know what I mean? Yeah. Thought he was, we didn't really get anyone. But so this guy kind of was available. He was good. And he's smart. You should start reading his blogs.
I'm looking forward to hearing it because
he's on it. Yeah,
I wasn't able to listen this morning. So I have a Skraby show tonight. And during the 5 to 6 p.m., I will be listening.
Yeah, he did a good job on the roundtable.
I did read something online about breaking down Manny's swing, or
that's what he did in his article, and he talked about some of that. But pretty smart guy, pretty smart. So, in fact, a lot of what he said, he might as well have been speaking in Swahili because I didn't get all that stuff.
Does he have a good outlook for this team?
I think he has the same outlook we all have right now, which is, it's going to have to turn.
Awesome.
Yeah, I don't think. Well, you can't have a different outlook.
I know. I was looking for a little bit of.
They're the worst hitting team in baseball, bar none. Almost any other way you look at it, somehow that has to change. You've got 89 games to do something about it. Coming up though later in the show, going to go over some of the top players, and so this isn't just hearsay. This is the top players that people are talking about will or could or should get traded at the trade deadline. So we'll look at some of those names and how they maybe could fit if we get them.
At what time?
Here. I don't know. Just later in the show. Yeah, well, we'll figure it out.
We got the big 5 too, so.
Well, if we don't do it, then I lied. Wouldn't be the first time.
I did not expect you to say that.
Canada 2, Qatar nothing. There's a little excitement there, though, for a minute, Skrabe.
Yeah.
The Canadian player was taken down right at the edge of the box on a tackle from behind. The official, I didn't know this. See, I'm learning like a lot of people watching the World Cup. The official called yellow card and then called penalty kick because it was in the box. So it was going to be 3-0 probably. But they looked on replay. The replay said the foul was just outside the box, which took away the penalty kick. But the replay also was able to upgrade to a red card. So the Qatar player was done for the game.
Yeah.
The official gave him the red card. It wasn't really the official was just passing along the bad news.
No, yeah, it was.
That was something random. I hadn't seen before. And I didn't know that the replay booth could actually eject you from the match.
This is exactly how the NFL should do it with unnecessary
Agreed?
roughness.
Okay. So you see something that the officials miss. If the replay sees it, he can tell them, and you're out.
If a quarterback, or if they throw a flag and it is deemed that it's not a flag, they just pick up the flag. There's no throwing players out or anything like that, but they need the replay assist to tell them if it was actually a roughing the passer penalty or not.
We watched, you and I, the other day, an old NFL game from 94.
Oh, it was Elway and
Montana game.
Yes.
Broncos Chiefs.
Yes.
How many roughing the passer penalties were there that were not even considered to be called?
I think every play.
Every play.
I
mean, Montana would go back and they'd just crunch the guy, and then they would land on him extra hard.
Yeah, they would pile drive him into the ground, which now is a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, and he'd get up and pat the guy in the butt, and they'd go play the next play. There was no flag of any kind.
Yes.
All right, let's get to what are we doing? A little potpourri here.
Sports potpourri. So we're going to start with we're going to have, from my side, we're going to have a Jalen Brunson message.
We have Brunson. What? How was the parade today? Message. Did you see the parade? Or
I just saw bits and pieces, but it looked like it was insane, I got to say. But first, if you love Mediterranean food, try Spiro's for authentic Mediterranean cuisine in Coronado or La Jolla. For dining or takeout options, visit Spiro'sCuisine.com. I don't remember, Chris, who said that they would never win with Jalen Brunson as their point.
The most high profile was Becky Hammond, the former NBA coach and now WNBA coach.
Yes, so
said no chance you can win with a little guy leading the way.
And other people said that as well. Jalen Brunson heard it.
Of course he did. You put that chip right on his shoulder. You could tell how he was playing the whole playoffs.
And here's Jalen Brunson at the celebration talking to those detractors.
There's a lot of people that have a lot of negative stuff to say. There's a lot of people who have a lot of opinions. But when you prove them wrong, you really don't have to say to them.
I love this.
Well, you love it. I find it funny. I also find it a little unnecessary. There are a million people there. I don't think all a million people appreciated that.
What do you mean?
Because a lot of people don't care for their little kids to hear that
They're
said
in New York City.
So what? In New York City, it's just okay to swear whenever?
I think it is.
Be rude?
Isn't that what New York is known about?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but no, I'm not going to go that far.
I mean, Jason Kelsey said a bunch of swear words, too, after theirs.
I would like to see Jalen Brunson, what he said there. I'd like it to be remembered and replayed forevermore. like a really great, Pat Riley standing up and going, hey, we're going to do it again next year.
Yeah.
Or Michael Jordan said, we'll see you next, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think what Jalen Brunson could have and should have said that would have had the same impact is there were a lot of doubters out there. You know who you are. You said we couldn't do it. I'm here to say, bet against us again next year.
Yeah.
Something like that. To me, that's a rallying cry, right? You can go with that. To just, drop an F-bomb on him. And, I get his frustration, but I just don't know if it's the right.
I heard something recently that, in order to deal with haters and, critics on the internet, is before it was to ignore them, be the bigger person, but now it's to get in their faces and to get your side of the story out and tell your thing. So that's what he's doing.
He told his side of the story. He walked out there with a trophy, for heaven's sakes. I don't need. He needed to an F-bomb for the exclamation point. I get what he was trying to say. I think he would have been better served the other way.
All right. But I'm in the middle on this because I don't swear a lot in general.
It was fun. The parade was great. It looked exciting. I will say the 150,000 police looked like they did a pretty good job of keeping the people somewhat under containment.
That is true. Now, James Dolan, he was on her sister station WFAN. Now
if you want to use bad language, use it describing him.
Well, I can't. But James Dolan
I think it's really funny now that the New York fans are embracing James Dolan, and they're doing stories about how James Dolan asked the Knicks players to sacrifice for each other. He's just the greatest guy ever.
Well, they're going to hear this and they're going to be out.
Yeah, go back on James Dolan and look up some of the stuff.
Oh, James
One
Dolan,
of the most hated people ever.
James Dolan is
and deservedly so.
We said it the other day. He has facial recognition software, and he runs people through that he doesn't like through it. And then if he finds them, he kicks them out of the stadium. That's the type of guy he is.
Bad guy.
So James Dolan, he's on top of the world. Knicks won the championship for the first time in 53 years. He could be raking in the money if he wanted to. So
He's already raking it in.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you.
Craig Carton on WFAN asked him, hey, does this mean you're going to spend more now because they have a championship team? You're in the number one market in the world? Here's what James Dolan said.
First off, most of our guys are on a contract. Right. We have a couple guys who are not. If we could bring back the whole team, right, exactly as it is, I think why wouldn't you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if we're going to be able to.
Just contractually.
And
some guys are going to get bigger paydays.
I picked the wrong part of this clip, to be honest. This is my fault. Hold on. I'm gonna.
Well, if you don't find it, what you want to find is
right,
where
here's the quote.
Okay, go ahead.
Here's the quote. I'm sorry. I thought I had it queued up.
All right.
Quote, there's certain things in the NBA that you'd have to be suicidal to do. One of them is the second apron, which is like luxury tax money. Cannot go into the second apron. I'll write as big a check as possible, but I can't write a check that goes into the second apron. This guy has more money than he's ever had.
Isn't there a salary cap, though, in the NBA?
Yes, but there's certain rules where you could pay taxes on max contracts, and I really don't even understand it all. But there is a way for them to get into another.
So you think that he should
bracket.
just roll out endless money for this team?
I think he should take advantage of the popularity he has right at this moment.
Yeah, well, he's not. Okay. He might have some popularity that he's never enjoyed before. And the true James Dolan will show through soon enough.
Well, you just heard it. He's not going to spend it anymore.
Yeah, I get that. But I think that's an owner speak. Owners are not going to say to players they may have to negotiate with, I'm going to spend whatever it takes. You don't say that. You say, I got to cut it. I got to cut it somewhere.
Can we stop
Just
acting
like when you go for a raise here, Skraby, and they say, we don't have any money. That's what they always say.
Well, I don't ask for a raise anymore. But I forgot where I was going with that.
I get you.
I forgot where I was going. What do you got? Well, I have one more if you need me to.
I got a big update on the parade in Raleigh, North Carolina for the Hurricanes.
Okay, let's go one parade to the other.
I don't know when it is, and I've not heard word one about it.
I thought it was taking place today.
I have no idea. Have you seen anything about it?
Let me see.
I've seen nothing. I've seen no mention of it.
Saturday, June 20th at 11 a.m. It says.
Oh, all right.
WRAL is reporting.
And they're
it.
expecting what, 12, 14 people?
They
in Raleigh
said
for this
about 18. It says
it's not the same excitement and enthusiasm as there is for the Nick one today. But hey, congratulations to all those people in good old Raleigh, North Carolina. Joe Burrow.
Yes, I've seen this.
Did you see this one?
I've seen this floating around. Haven't bit into it yet.
Joe Burrow is trying something here, and we'll see if it works. Joe Burrow was on the LSU 2019 national championship team.
Super team.
It was pretty crazy, right? Who were their two receivers?
Jamar Chase.
Their two receivers were Jefferson.
Oh, and Jamar Chase.
And Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Like, are you serious?
That's crazy.
The two top picks in every year's fantasy draft for the next 5 years were Joe Burrow's two targets.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right? So LSU scored like 60 points every game. They won the national championship. Joe Burrow then got close with the Bengals, right? They lost that game to the Rams. But the last couple of years have been really quite poor for the Bengals.
Yeah, it's been a struggle.
Joe Burrow says that's okay. I have the vibe, and I'm feeling that this team is similar to the one we had at LSU.
Okay.
Well, all right, one part of it's similar. He got Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much where it ends. I don't see any. What have the Bengals done?
They brought in Sexy Dexy.
Who's that?
Dexter Lawrence.
Sexy
lineman.
Dexy?
Yeah, for the
Is
Giants.
that really his name?
His nickname is Sexy Dexy. He had a Campbell's Chunky Soup commercial last year. It was great. I love him. They added
what
him.
is he?
He's a defensive lineman.
Was he a kicker? Or?
Yes, he's a kicker.
Okay. Yeah, I've not heard of him. So
he's an interior lineman who's very, very, very
I follow the NFL the same way most of us do. If I don't draft you in fantasy, I don't know who you are.
Yeah, the defensive players take a hit on their name in the house because no one knows who they are.
Well,
but I don't know what you're talking. Wait, what Joe Burrow's talking about either, Chris. I don't think that they're Super Bowl bound.
Did the Bengals win more games last year or the Dolphins? It was pretty close.
I can check for you.
I think it was 8 to
Dolphins
7.
won 8, right?
Dolphins won 7.
They won
surprisingly.
7.
I think the Bengals won 8. I'm gonna give the Bengals the nod.
6.
Oh, Dolphins beat them out.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That is it. That's a terrible season. 6-11. I know Joe Burrow.
I brought this up before. The Dolphins won more games than Kansas City did last year. That's how far Kansas City fell.
So why are you so upset about your team?
I'm just reading the press clippings that all say Miami's going to be the worst team in the NFL this year.
If you were in the...
Those are the press clippings. I don't make them up.
If you were in the NFC South, Chris, you would have been one game out of a playoff spot.
Yeah, right.
Because everybody finished under 500.
I know. How Miami won 7 games last year. Maybe Mike McDaniel should have been given a raise and re-upped for another 10 years.
Maybe.
Based on how bad that team really was.
All right, I got to tell you this quick one because this has happened to me, and this actually hurt me to even read this. But Detroit Tigers outfielder Wencel Perez was injured in a freak accident after Tuesday's game. He was working with a therapy band, and it snapped and hit him right below the eye, Chris. Right below the eye. So he's going to be out for a little bit. But the reason I've done this before. Like, I was at a gym.
You hit yourself in the eye with the therapy band?
I was at a gym, and I was doing a therapy band, and it snapped, and it hit me right in the face. And I got to tell you, I thought I was going to lose my eye. It hurt so bad that it hit me in the face. So
you've had better feelings?
I'm glad that this guy's okay, because these things are very dangerous. Therapy bands can hurt.
I would think you got to be a little careful.
Yeah, but he's going to be out for a little bit.
The one thing that's a little troubling, and I feel bad for him and you, is that when you use a therapy band, it's supposed to make you feel better, not worse.
You're right. It's supposed to, but it didn't.
One last thing, Brendan Sorsby. We can't get too far into a day without mentioning this guy, but he did officially drop his lawsuit against the NCAA today, which he had to do. Because he has to be completely ineligible now in order to go into the supplemental draft, which the deadline to apply for is Monday.
Oh, okay.
So Sorsby continues to follow along there.
The thing is, he's going to have so much press around him just because people want to see what happens.
His agent has come out, by the way, and said that the University of Cincinnati, where he played last year, knew all along that he was gambling and just swept it under the rug.
Well, now Cincinnati
the folks
is going
at
to be
Cincinnati
investigated.
aren't too pleased with this. They are vehemently denying.
Oh,
all of that.
they better not have known about this and let him play, because Texas Tech, I mean, Cincinnati, that would be way worse.
Do we believe Cincinnati, though? Do you believe that a guy made 40,000 bets and I didn't know about it?
I believe that
it's
Cincinnati
possible.
Look the other way.
Okay, it's possible because everything's kind of quiet on your phone. I get it now. But I also, maybe I was in a different world, but when I played, it's just, we're talking baseball at San Diego State, and I was one of the least important guys on the team. Jim Dietz still knew, every test I took in every class. So
course.
These coaches and these places tend to know all that's going on. And it surprises me every time they say they were clueless.
Especially with how much money they invest into these guys.
Right.
They're not just giving these guys money and not checking up on
It's
them.
hard to believe that Cincinnati did not know. Brendan Sorzi's agent said they did. We got Chris versus the fans, 833-288-0973. Into the 4 o'clock hour, which today qualifies as our happy hour. Gwynn and Chris on 97.3 The Fan. Chris Ello, Matt Skraby. Odyssey Palace Studios. Tony Gwynn Jr. is idle today. Unfortunately, we'll all be idle tomorrow. Day off. It'll be Juneteenth. Happy hour here, brought to you by GL Pools, the company trusted by thousands of San Diegans to keep their pools sparkling, swim ready, and expertly maintained. Call GL Pools now. Say radio. Get a free month of service. If I had the guys at GL Pools on my pool today, Skraby, I would not have been stung by a bee in the hand this morning.
What?
Yeah.
You're just swimming and it's stung you?
There's a bunch of bees. I guess bees, I don't know that. I don't want to anger or upset any bee lovers out there. But I don't know the bees are that smart when it comes to swimming pools. And they dive in there.
Wait, you're worried about upsetting the bee people?
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, there's probably somebody out there. But anyway, the bees dive in the pool, then they can't get out. And so I see them swimming around at the top, and I actually try to save their lives. I go underneath with the water and kind of scoop the water out.
I've done this too.
And so the bee goes out and to safety.
I've done this too.
You know, so I feel I should be, applauded in the bee community. Yeah. Anyway, I did that today, and it didn't work exactly how I intended. And when I was done scooping the water out, the bee remained in my hand.
Oh.
And didn't seem to like that. And I don't know if it was a full sting. I don't know if that's possible. Maybe somebody who knows a lot more about bees than I do. Felt like it was kind of the beginnings of a sting, and I was able to shake the bee off, and it didn't like get red and kind of crazy like a lot of times.
Yeah, I don't really have.
I don't either.
I'm not a bee expert.
Right. So I'm counting on somebody who's a bee expert. Can you get a half of a sting? Is there such a thing?
Sure there is.
I don't know.
Don't bees die when they sting you?
That's what I thought. But maybe if you do a half a sting, you don't die. I don't know all the bee.
And do bees know that if they sting, they're going to die? Because that would be crazy.
Right. And has anybody ever been able to ask them if they know? Like how...
Jerry Seinfeld was a bee in that movie.
Maybe he knows. But my bottom line is GL Pools would not, they wouldn't put up with this.
No,
there would be no bees anywhere. It'd be all cleaned up.
No.
U.S. Open golf, guys that are in the clubhouse in Southampton, New York, Shinnecock Hills Golf Club. Sam Stevens, an American, is at -2. Don't know much about him. Rory McIlroy and Ludwig Oberg, -1. Those are guys you know. A couple of guys in there at even par. Tommy Fleetwood, Ricky Fowler +1, Scheffler +2. So he's 4 off, which is not impossible for Scheffler.
I know.
But still not a great day for him. Cameron Young also +2. He's the 3rd ranked golfer in the world, by the way. I bet you I could even stump you on that.
Who is the 3rd ranked golfer in the world?
Cameron Young.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that, but it does make sense because he's been playing really, really well.
He's 3rd behind Scheffler and Rory. Koepka +3 today. And our guy JJ Spawn probably not going to be defending his U.S. Open championship after a 7/77, which I'm sure upsets him. But imagine if you or I shot it, we'd be like buying drinks for the whole town of Southampton, New York.
That'd be my best score ever.
Guys that are on the course doing quite well right now include Wyndham Clark, -2. You're going to hate this one, Skrabe. John Rahm, -2. Dustin Johnson. Remember him?
I do.
-2.
He's a U.S. Open champion.
Bryson DeChambeau -1. And what in the world happened to Schauffele? He was just there a minute ago. Did he have like one of those really bad holes, or am I just not seeing his name? He was tied for the lead, and now he must have triple bogeyed. He's +1. So I'm assuming Schauffele just had a triple bogey. Let me call up his card here.
Costly triple bogey.
Well, no. He was -2 and then had 3 bogeys out of 4 holes. So not a triple, but he's at +1. He had been doing much better 20 minutes ago. than he is now. Sam Levitt was at the World Cup in the middle of the excitement today. He saw, was it Scotland?
No, it's Switzerland and
Bosnia Herzegovina. Them. He saw a 4-1 victory for Switzerland. He's going to give us his World Cup report in 15 minutes. Right now, Chris versus the fans.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to take down the human almanac himself,
howdy do.
Now is your time.
Listen to me, this guy is dangerous.
Now is your opportunity to win a prize.
Well, I hope you know what you're in for.
Chris versus the fans starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, we got two things for you today. We have a qualification for the grand prize, and then we got some Dave Chappelle tickets to give away. But the grand prize is if you win, you'll be qualified for the chance of the grand prize: a 2-night stay at Town and Country Resort and $250 food and beverage credit. Work on your resting vacation face this summer at Town and Country Resort. 3 pools and a 4-story water slide named Twister make Town and Country a family favorite. Rates start at $199 per night exclusively for fan listeners. Visit towncountry.com/thefan to book now. Also, you will be receiving some Dave Chappelle tickets for his show on Sunday. A pair of those tickets at Viejas Arena. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
Somebody will have to report who goes to that concert, because I'm curious of one thing. I'm 99.9% sure no smoking allowed inside Viejas Arena. I've been there many times.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Dave Chappelle perform without
I don't watch a lot
sucking
of
down a bunch of cigarettes?
I haven't watched a lot of stand-up.
If you ever watch Dave Chappelle, the cigarette comes with the show.
I didn't know he was a cigarette guy. Honestly.
So, well, I don't think he can be, right, in a venue where there is no smoking, or does he win out on that?
Oh, I'm sure he can win out.
You think? So you think he can just go up there and light a couple of darts up and go at it?
I really don't know.
Yeah, well, that's why I want somebody to report back to me on Monday.
All right. The rules: you have to make it through 3 questions. Each question will get more difficult. If you get the question right, you move on. If you get it wrong and Chris gets it right, you're eliminated. But if Chris gets it wrong, then you move on to the next question or you win. If you're a first-time player, let us know before you get into it, and you'll get that question for free today. All right. Everything has been said. Let's go to Jose. Hello, Jose.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. You ready to play?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. Name all 3 countries hosting the World Cup.
United States, Mexico, Canada.
Nice job. All right.
I got to be honest with you, that was a very good guess, Jose. Because if it would have been United States, Mexico, and say like what?
Bosnia Herzegovina.
That would have been surprising.
Yes.
Yeah, that would have been surprising.
There's a lot of traveling going on there. All right, here we go. Question number 2. Juan Soto debuted for the Washington Nationals in what year?
2019?
2019. Stay there.
They won the World Series in 2019 with Juan Soto.
Oh, that's a good point.
I don't know if he debuted the year before or 2 years before. I'll say 2018. I'm not sure.
Sorry, Jose. It was 2018.
You know, the Juan Soto being on a World Series champion team is the one fly in my ointment. You know, when I try to say this guy doesn't care about winning and he's only all about his own stats, because Juan Soto defenders can say, well, he did win the World Series.
He did.
And I can't argue that.
In his second year as a baseball player.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Michael. Hello, Michael.
How's it going, fellas?
Hey, Michael.
Not too bad.
We're good.
You ready to play?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. All right. Name 2 of the 3 decisions you can make after winning an NFL coin toss. So if you win the NFL coin toss, you have 3 decisions you can make. Name 2 of them.
Wow.
You can either kick the ball or receive the ball.
There you go.
Smart.
Do you know the third?
One, defend which side of the field, or I don't know.
No, it's defer.
Oh,
you can
see,
defer
would
to
have
the
got me
other
on
team.
that.
All right.
So you can't choose to defend a side?
I think when you
and leave the choice whether to kick to the other team.
No, I think if you choose kick, you could choose the side, but if you defer, you give the choice to the other team. I believe. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, here we go, Michael. Question
Good job,
number 2.
Michael. You got through there.
This question might be flawed. New York Knicks question.
A lot of your questions are
Name
flawed.
the Knicks player who caused Linsanity.
Jeremy Lin.
Jeremy Lin. I didn't know if anybody would remember him.
Yeah, he's happy that somebody does.
Yes. Did you hear, side note, there's a rumor that Kim Kardashian, at the height of Linsanity, wanted to date Jeremy Lin, and like his representative said no. And so he didn't get to go on a date with.
It would have
Kim
been
Kardashian.
probably the most high-profile thing he ever did.
Probably.
If he would have got in there with Kim Kardashian. Jeremy Lin, by the way, do we know the year of Linsanity?
2012, maybe.
Actually, we do know because he only played for the Knicks for 1 year.
Oh.
So I'm looking him up here. It is one of the craziest things that ever happened. The guy averaged 14 points a game that year, which is not terrible, but not superstardom. But he was so good for 2 weeks.
Oh, man.
That he made the cover of Sports Illustrated 2 weeks in a row when that mattered.
Yeah. Linsanity.
So Linsanity was a real thing.
It was definitely
for
a
a player that really had a nondescript career otherwise.
He did.
Yeah.
All right, Michael. Question number 3. You get this right or Chris gets it wrong, you're qualified.
By the way, there's going to be a
there.
brawl in the Canada-Qatar game here pretty soon.
I have no idea what happened, but there's
a Canada guy lying on the field.
Oh,
and
they're bringing a stretcher.
They're bringing an ambulance out practically.
And the guys are now pushing each other.
And all the rest of the players are going after the player of Qatar who laid him out. Yeah, it's getting ugly up there.
Sorry about that, Michael.
Sorry, Michael.
It was a commotion on the TV.
Yes, it caught our attention.
All right. Who is the oldest golfer to ever win the U.S. Open? They did it at 45 years old.
That's a hard one, I think. U.S. Open, oldest U.S. Open golf champion.
Yes.
All right.
Not a big golf guy, so I'm going to pass this question.
Gonna pass. All right. Let's hope Chris doesn't know.
Yeah. I don't know this one offhand. I know, look, everyone knows Jack Nicklaus won the Masters at 46, and I think that's the record. And most people know that Mickelson won, I think it was the PGA, and he was already 50.
Yeah, that was a big
deal. So that was incredible. But the U.S. Open 45, I'm going to take a crazy guess here, Skraby.
Oh, no, I don't like this.
Ben Hogan.
Oh, Ben Hogan.
Yeah.
I mean, he won 4 of them.
Yeah, he won a few. He didn't win when he was old.
Not the answer. Michael, stay right there. I'm going to get your information.
Good for you, Michael.
Hale Irwin did it in 1990.
I remember that guy. First of all,
Hale Irwin's a very good player.
He was a great player, but whose name is Hale? Nobody's.
Well, his is.
And Hale Irwin, look him up if you want to. Hale Irwin had the wire-rimmed glasses.
Yes.
He didn't look like he could beat you at a game of tiddlywinks, let alone, win the U.S. Open. Hale Irwin was a hell of a good golfer for a guy that just never looked the part.
No,
right?
And
he
what
didn't
does a golfer
have
look like, though?
Yeah, and he didn't have the savvy of a great athlete striding down. And I don't even know if there was too many Hale Irwin fans out there. There must have been a few.
There's got to be a ton of Hale Irwin fans.
But Hale Irwin had I bet he won more than one major. I bet he won.
I think he did.
He might have won 2.
And he did well on the senior tour. But we need to get the break because our guy Sammy Lev's on the other side.
Sam Levitt, 3-time U.S. Open champion. Hale Irwin won the U.S. Open 3 times.
Wow.
How do you like that?
I like it.
So good for you, Hale. The only person I've ever called Hale and the only one I ever will. Sammy Levitt from the World Cup. I don't know if this is a match made in heaven, but we'll find out when we come back. cooler heads have finally prevailed in that Canada-Qatar match up there. 3-0 Canada, but Qatar's down to 9 players. One of their guys just absolutely pummeled the guy in Canada. And the guy in Canada had to be carried out on a stretcher, and I think there was palm fronds and grapes.
In this case, he was actually hurt.
I think he was actually hurt. The Canadian the players were livid. They wanted to just fight anybody on the other team, and they finally got some order restored there. But the World Cup is upon us, and right in the middle of all the excitement today in Los Angeles was our own Sam Levitt, proving once again, Sam, that you make more money than Skraby and I combined, because you could somehow afford a ticket to get the hell in there today. How was it at SoFi Stadium? Take us through a little of the experience.
The ticket wasn't that crazy. I waited it out till this morning. I was keeping an eye on it. It wasn't cheap, but it all lined up where the Padres were off today. There was a game in LA, and I thought to myself, when will I ever again have the opportunity to go to a World Cup game?
For sure,
and the answer is maybe never, right? When's the next time it's going to be in the U.S.? Probably not for decades, and by that point, who knows where I'll be at in life. So, and who knows if I'll ever get to a World Cup anywhere else. So I took the opportunity. I saw Switzerland against Bosnia and I'm going to mess up the country name. Bosnia and
Herzegovina.
Herzegovina.
Yeah.
Herzegovina, I think is how it's pronounced. Switzerland against Bosnia and Herzegovina, and it was a lot of fun. It was pretty awesome. I'm glad I went.
I can't. Skraby said I wouldn't ask you, so I won't.
Don't.
I don't want to know how much
him.
you paid.
No.
How much?
Text him after.
Okay, we'll find out. But did you have to pay an arm and a leg to park and all of that too, or has that been overblown?
It wasn't as bad as I thought. I parked outside the normal parking areas. It wasn't cheap, but I thought it was manageable. I won't say it was cheap though. But here's the thing. I went in expecting that.
Right.
I even took out some cash in case I needed to pay in cash to park. I went in expecting that it was going to be, a pretty penny to park and on top of the ticket. And I factored all that in when I decided to go. So yeah, it was all right. I wouldn't have embarked on the journey if I was not prepared for the cost.
Yeah, we're talking to Sam Levitt. He's coming back from the World Cup up in LA. And one thing I've always told Sam, I've said this many times on the show, I appreciate that Sam goes and does things. He doesn't just sit at home like me, and I'm trying to emulate that in certain ways.
You should pick up more on that, because life experiences to me are way worth more than the money that you spend for them.
So Sam, I'm curious, what was the national pride like in that stadium?
And what did you try to buy a Bosnia Herzegovina jersey up there or what?
No, I didn't buy a jersey of either team. It wasn't for sale. There was a FIFA store in the stadium, but none of the merchandise appealed to me. And I'm not a big merchandise guy. And you're right. Just to go back to the experience thing, you're right. I do try to go and I don't let last minute affect me much. I went to Japan in January. That was like a trip that I planned the week out. So yes. Now I also have the ability to do it in the sense of I'm on my own and I don't need to clear it with anybody, and there are no children, and that's I guess one of the benefits of being just a single guy, a loner in this lonely world.
An eligible bachelor.
An eligible bachelor. That's one of the benefits. But I will say, a few things stood out to me. Number one, man, everybody was so happy to be there. You want to talk about a sporting event, win or lose, where it was just a great vibe. People were just happy to be there. And you know what? I get it, because I think for a lot of people, especially if they're coming from far away, this is like a once-in-a-lifetime experience, right? To go to the World Cup. I'm sure for anybody that actually was there from Switzerland or from Bosnia, you're talking about what a journey to go to the World Cup. It only happens once every 4 years. And so there was a real joy to it. Like, seriously, I really noticed it. There was a real joy to the whole thing. Way more Bosnian fans than Swiss fans.
Oh, really?
Way more. I would say it could have been 80-20. At least 70-30.
Wow.
It could have been 80-20. Way more.
Really? Okay.
Yes, way more. But those fans on the whole also were just louder. They were more rowdy. They were louder. They were making tons of noise. They were kind of partying. Supporter section was making way more noise. The first half, I was shocked at how just quiet the Swiss fans were. It really was. Even the section where they were standing and cheering. The match, the first half, nothing happened. 0-0. And I was like, man, this is, and I like soccer. I don't mind watching it. But in person, one thing that I find weird is this is not the first soccer match I've watched, but it's certainly the biggest one I've ever watched. When nothing's happening, it's just quiet. Like, there's no noise from the pitch. The fans aren't making that. I mean, you hear their chants and stuff, but they're not making that much noise. Like, it just 45 minutes went by. It was like, oh, wow, nothing really happened over 45 minutes, which is, going to prove
I hate to tell you, Sam,
right.
I could have predicted that was going to happen. It does seem to happen in a lot of soccer matches, I hate to say.
Now, the second half, the Swiss scored 4 goals.
Oh, all right.
Bosnia and Herzegovina scored 1. But the Swiss had a 3-0 lead at one point late in the second half. So the Swiss won, and that got their crowd going. And I'll tell you another thing that I did not expect. Now, I don't know how much this has to do with the fact that Mexico is playing tonight. There were a ton of Mexico fans at this game in LA between 2 European countries. Ton of Mexico fans, to the point that after the match, Mexico fans were like celebrating and like partying and chanting outside like the stadium and in the concourse. But here was the awesome part. They were chanting Mexico. They had all these chants going on. But then they were like chanting with the Swiss. They were chanting with the Bosnians. Like, they were chanting each other's countries. I got great videos of it. It was really cool. Like, again, there was like just a certain joy to the whole thing, win or lose. And I'm happy I went. It was really interesting and fun. And, probably the only time I'll ever go to a World Cup match. So it was worth it.
You know what it sounds like to me is it sounds like sports on steroids. And we talk about how sports, it sounds like a cliche, but it's true. Sports brings people together unlike almost anything else. And in the case of a World Cup, it sounds like, not only bringing the fans of, Bosnia, which I looked up while you were saying is 6,000 miles away and takes 12 and a half hours to get here.
Yeah.
Not bringing them together, but bringing them together even with the Swiss fans and bringing the Swiss fans together with the neutral fan. Everyone gets in on sports like this, and it is hard to put a price on that. It's something that, we need a lot more of, I hate to say, and not trying to be.
It felt like again, just for a one-off match that look, whoever was playing today, who's who I was going to see. Today was the day to go. So it could have been any countries to play. These happen to be the two for me today. But yeah, I will say there was kind of a unique, real joy to the event. So it was cool. It was also my first time at SoFi Stadium. I'd never been.
Oh
there.
yeah,
yeah. That's another discussion. Yeah, it's another discussion entirely, but it is a pretty cool place. Before you go, Sam, this is the thing I really wanted to know. How much was a Bosnia Herzegovina dog?
A hot dog?
I didn't have a hot dog. I had a pepperoni pizza, and it was like $19.
Oh,
which seemed. But it seems pretty heavy. Standard for us.
It is standard, but it still hurts.
Yeah, but do you want to know? You guys.
It was a Switzerland match, Sammy. You should have had chocolate or something. Swiss chocolate at least.
No, they didn't. There was no. I will say there was no. It was. I will say this: it was a very, as far as the game presentation and the stadium, and it's very neutral, like very neutral. There's not a whole lot of like country flavor outside the colors, which I guess this is the way it has to be. Remember, they're playing a bunch of matches there from all different kinds of teams. So that would be cool if they could, like, you know, give you a little local cuisine.
Wouldn't that be neat if they had like kind of the local fare of the country available?
It would.
That'd be cool.
Standard. But how about
and
this?
what was
how
the?
About this?
He's not done yet.
I'm not lying. But the guy who gave me, who took my order for the pepperoni pizza, he recognized me.
What from what? From like TikTok or from like Padres stuff?
From TikTok. No,
that's
from TikTok.
great.
He was like, "Wait, are you?" I was like, "Yeah, that's me."
I love it. That's so funny.
I love it.
So funny.
I love it, and it's almost not surprising.
It's not surprising. That's awesome, Sam.
Real quick, was security tight, or for a match like this, was it a little less?
It was normal. It was normal. Normal stadium stuff. Nothing over the top. It was crowded going in. I mean, I went in at like 11, and the match started at noon.
Yeah.
So it was crowded, but no long lines. It was very, very standard. I really, from that point, I didn't notice anything really out of the ordinary at all.
All right. Well,
Sam,
thank you, Sam. That's so cool of you to call in, because I think all of us want to kind of get a feel for what it might have been like had we gone, and not all of us are going to be able to go. So thanks for that.
Thank you, Sam.
Felt like I was there myself. Sam Levitt on the Swiss victory over Bosnia-Herzegovina, 4-1 the final.
Drive safe. Get home safely, Sam.
Yeah, we'll see you in a little while, Sam. Thanks for checking in with us.
Yeah, you got it. I'm sitting in traffic. I'm doing something I don't normally do, which is drive during rush hour on these highways, but it is what it is.
You do now live in Southern California. You know that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, sir.
Make a TikTok video or something.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't actually do that.
Use your time wisely.
You can't use your phone while you're driving. Anyway, thank you, Sam.
Yeah, no kidding. You're telling him to break the law.
All right, bye, Sam.
Well done. All right, Sammy Levitt there. We'll take one final time out on our show. Remember, we got the Padre Roundtable at the top of the hour, but we got some Big Five stuff
Brandon
to cover.
Says, prayers up, Sam. See you at 9 p.m.
Yeah, it'll be a while probably before he gets back. But you know what? I'm glad he went.
Yeah, me too.
Like I said, it probably cost way too much. But, 12 years, 15 years, he'll remember going to the match, and he won't remember, how much it cost.
Yeah, of
so
course,
it was an experience.
Yeah.
Good for him. All right, we'll come back and wrap things up next. Real quick at the U.S. Open, Dustin Johnson and Wyndham Clark have caught a little fire here, Skraby, and both have gone to 4 under par, 2 shots clear of the first round lead with about 5 holes to play. Good. I don't know if it's good or not to see Dustin Johnson back in the running.
It's surprising.
Was he a likable golfer, or he was a little? He was more polarizing, right?
Yeah, there's
when
rumors,
he was having his heyday.
Yeah, there's a couple rumors that he slept with another guy's wife on the tour, and
that's terrific news.
Yeah,
is Gretzky's daughter aware of this rumor?
I think it was before Paulina Gretzky, but he's not. Let's just say he's not in the
not a lovable guy.
Yeah, it's not.
How about the other guy, Wyndham Clark?
I know nothing about him, but he sounds like a nice guy.
All right, they're both 4 under par, and the Canada-Qatar match. Thank goodness Qatar just hasn't had every player kicked out of the game.
Yeah, they should just end this.
It really should. They're down to 9 players. Canada is just like a shooting gallery and leading 5-0 now in the second half. So
real quick about Dustin Johnson, I think this is a fun story. I believe he went to East Carolina. That's where he played golf.
Okay.
And he is such a talented golfer that his teammate back in East Carolina said he used to stay out all night, not sleep at all, drink like crazy, go play golf, and end up shooting like a 63.
He went to Coastal
Carolina. Okay.
Want to get that accurate?
Yes, no, but he's like, if he would have, people say if he would have applied his raw talent,
could have been really something.
Be one of the best
even
of all
more.
time. Yeah.
One thing I just see here about Dustin Johnson, he and I share a birthday.
Wow.
Yeah, Monday will be both of our birthdays. So happy birthday to you, Dustin. See how it works out there. I have one quick thing on Hale Irwin. We'd mentioned that crazy name earlier. 3-time U.S. Open golf champion back in the day. Classic. His first U.S. Open title in 1990. Wait, let me get the right year. His first one, 1974. Sorry, Skrabe, okay? They called it the Massacre at Winged Foot. Irwin won with a score of 7 over par.
I totally remember this.
You do?
Well, not like I remember reading about it, and I remember everybody talking about
7 over, and he won the U.S. Open. But the incredible thing about Hale Irwin, because he came up as the oldest ever to win the U.S. Open, he won at the age of 29, and then he won again 16 years later at the age of 45. That's pretty impressive.
That is impressive.
Pretty impressive.
He also had a golf club line through Cobra.
And Hale Irwin, for all the fun I'm trying to make of him as a non-athletic looking guy, he's in the World Golf Hall of Fame. And that's not a bad place to reside.
No, but it's pretty easy to get in the world. I think you have to win like 2 tournaments, and
I don't know that it's that easy. I mean, you're not in the running to make it.
No, I'm not a professional golfer.
Hale is still out there, by the way. 81 years old. Lives in Missouri. If you want to get him on the show,
I'm good.
I think it'd be fun.
If I could get Hale Irwin on, maybe. I mean,
it'd be fun, man.
I'll look in to see how I can contact
Hale Irwin. I love it, man. All right, let's get to the Big Five here.
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Big Five starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right. We're broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios where we know how, and we're going to get right into it.
Number 5.
So yesterday, Baker Mayfield, or maybe in the last couple days, he was talking about how the Buccaneers are telling him that his style of play and how he gets banged up a lot every season is a reason for them not to pay him top dollar as their quarterback. And Baker Mayfield, his response was, I've played every game the last 3 years. So my question, Chris, to you is, do the Buccaneers have a leg to stand on here?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I side with Baker here. First of all, scoreboard, right? He's been in every game, and he plays, a kind of a rough style, game. But he shows up. He answers the bell. Yeah, he answers the bell. And then secondly, we said this last time you brought this up about should they sign him to a max deal? Maybe not, but the alternative is just to have a lousy quarterback. Because there's just only like 9-10 guys out there.
Yeah.
And I think Baker, is a guy that can be one of those, when he's on his game. So, I think the Buccaneers are going to make a mistake if they run away from Baker Mayfield. I don't know that there's a good enough replacement for him.
They definitely don't have a good enough replacement. There's no one on the free agent market. You don't have a quarterback if you don't have Baker Mayfield. You're kind of stuck. You've done this to yourself, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You could have started drafting or looking into the future of the quarterback position, but you didn't. So pay the man. Pay the man. He deserves it.
I'm looking at this. Hale Irwin was a 3-time Sports Illustrated cover boy. He got the cover every time he won the U.S. Open.
I was going to say, that's probably
good for
why.
him.
Yeah.
Number 4.
Hale Irwin. We got to get him on now. I'm excited.
Hale Irwin has never been mentioned so much on a radio show in the last 25 years.
No doubt.
Ivory Coast, Elia Wahi, 2026 World Cup participant, was arrested for alleged spot fixing just a couple of weeks before the tournament began. He's 23 years old. He plays for a soccer club in Nice. But he is on the Ivory Coast team. Now, spot fixing is the illegal manipulation of a specific part of a sporting event, often for betting purposes, typically without affecting the overall outcome of the game. He was arrested by French police on May 29th He was allowed to travel to the U.S. for the World Cup, and he played in their Ivory Coast opening game when they won 1-0 over Ecuador. The other thing I saw that the investigation was whether or not he earned a yellow card on purpose. So it was, will this player or will a player get a yellow card? Anyway, Chris, or I'm up first. Should he have been removed from the team? I don't see how you can't remove him from the team. I mean, this is how you deal with it. If you're caught betting as an athlete, you're done. That's how you get us to believe in it and to trust the system. But if you're allowing players who get caught betting, we're not going to trust the system. Chris.
Well, I mean, you sound like you're taking a thinly veiled shot at the NCAA.
I'm taking a thinly veiled shot at everyone.
Okay. I mean, the NCAA, for as much as I hate about them, they did their best on the Sorsby to not allow him to play. They ruled in every way they could. One judge, one place, kind of overruled them back. Yeah, I've said it before. You have to take any kind of gambling stuff seriously if you want your sport to be worth, a grain of salt. So, yes.
Okay.
Number 3.
The WNBA announced the other day that it's going to expand the regular season from 44 games to a record 50 games in 2027. There's a bunch of its new collecting and bargaining agreement stuff. They're trying to expand it up to 55 games, I think, by a certain period of time. But the WNBA commissioner said that the demand for the WNBA has never been greater, and expanding to a 50-game regular season reflects the extraordinary momentum we are seeing across the league. Chris, is this a good idea?
First of all, I want to just say that that was a commissioner statement, if there ever was one.
Yeah. You
know what I mean?
Yeah. They have those ready to go in their desk.
They just, there's a file for commissioner statements, and that's one of them.
Yes.
The excitement, the enthusiasm has never been higher for the WNBA. Okay, whatever.
Man, why do we have to be so robotic all the time?
Yeah, I mean, just be honest and straight up. I think the WNBA is doing great. It's obviously a money-making proposition, or they wouldn't be adding 3 more franchises. People are lining up to get teams now. That's good. The players are starting to make some inroads in terms of how much money they're getting paid. They'd probably like to go a little bit more with that, but it's getting better. I think the games are great. I'm looking up the WNBA average attendance last year, 11,148 for the whole league.
That's pretty good.
It's not the NBA, but it's up 2,000 from the year before that.
Arenas are not like they're like 15 to 18, 20,000 people.
Golden State Valkyries 18,000 per game.
Dang.
So they're selling out up there. Strike while the iron is as hot as you can, and get some more, play a few extra games. The one thing about that, it's not going to change how the fans react. They're not going to go, well, you know what? I'm only going to 44 games.
Yeah.
I'm not going to 48.
I'm not paying attention to anymore.
Don't think the fans will think much of it. It'll be a little ticket price raise, but it'll also be more money for them to split up with their players.
Yeah, I mean, I think
that's how they make money, is in regular season. That's where you make your money. That's why they play so many games. They wouldn't play. Everybody says Steve Kerr's right. They need to take the amount of games down in the NBA. It's all well and good, but the owners won't do it because it's giving away gates, giving away full arenas of people. So that's why they play so many games, for the owners to make some money.
Yeah.
The money,
honey.
I
don't really have any other thoughts except for, I don't have any other thoughts.
You're watching.
Sorry.
Watch Caitlin Clark versus Reese tonight. It'll be fun.
Okay. The golf has accepted the proposed golf rollback, spearheaded by the USGA and RNA, will now take place as a single date implementation in January 2030. So the quote was, through a series of formal feedback processes and numerous individual stakeholder meetings, the governing bodies agreed on the across the game change in how golf balls are tested via the overall distance standard. We've talked about this a few times, and we talked to Charlie Hoffman about this as well. Do we need the golf ball to be rolled back? Yes, we need the golf ball rolled back. But
explain
I will
you mean to somebody who's just tuning in. What do you mean the golf ball's rolled back?
Good good question. The pros just crush the golf ball right now, and so rolling it back would change the composition of a golf ball, so it doesn't fly as far. So it's not as
Force
easy to
golfers
hit.
to use a little bit more intricacy instead of just destroying the ball.
Instead of just hitting a 375-yard drive and then going sand wedge, you hit a 300-yard drive and then you have to hit a
play
4-iron.
a little different something
like that.
Okay.
Charlie Hoffman said this. He said bifurcation means like the pros use the same stuff as the amateurs, and so they want to keep that because that's part of golf that you could play just like the pros.
Right.
But what do you think?
I think whatever Charlie thinks.
So he doesn't want this.
Yeah. Well, and that's probably, I'm going to go with that.
Yeah, I think I have to go with the PGA Tour professional.
I'm going to go with Charlie. Number one. Number two, I think they could. I said this before. You got the money, put some sand traps out there 375 yards away from on the tee and say, look, if you want to go there, you're going to have to negotiate some sand. Otherwise, you're going to have to dial it down. I think that's a great way to do it. I don't like to take away from these guys' amazing skill to hit the ball that far. I don't. It takes your breath away. You stand on a tee and watch one of these guys hit the ball. It's pretty impressive.
It is.
I don't want them to have to dial that down. Make it just more difficult for them.
That ball jumps off the club of a professional player.
It's a whole. It's not even the same thing that we're doing.
No, gosh,
on the weekend.
Our swing speed's probably 40 miles an hour less.
Yeah.
Number one.
All right, the home run derby. It's going to undergo lots of changes, Chris.
Is it? Why
Last
don't we
year,
I got a little tongue-tied there, but I was thinking four things at once. Why don't they just cancel the stupid All-Star game and have the home run derby from the beginning of the All-Star game?
Oh, I see.
Because that's all anybody cared about last year anyway.
I have not heard about the swing off of the All-Star game.
Remember the swing off last
better
year?
be a part of it, but
you love that.
Instead of having them, with a time limit, 4 minutes or 40 pitches in the first round, there's going to be no more timers. They're going to have like 20 pitches, but here's why they changed it. Players were complaining that when they're tired and they're swinging, they're more likely to be injured, and so they don't want to have a timer. Are these fan events, Chris, just part of playing professional sports?
Well, look, we already know that we are in the wimpiest age of being a professional athlete ever. I can say that as an old man who resides on my lawn. You young bucks out there are wimpy. We have to protect you from yourselves, so go ahead and change the rules so you don't break a fingernail swinging at too many pitches.
They're saying that they will pull muscles because when they're tired, they lose their form, and then Anyway, we don't have a show tomorrow.
We already took away extra innings for these guys. We've taken away the length of game. We've done it all for these athletes.
Yes, we don't have a show tomorrow, but we will be back on Monday. Roundtable up next, and then Skraby show at 6 p.m. Anything else, Chris?
No, I hope Tony gets me a ticket tomorrow night at the game where I can see the field.
That's a good point. All right, roundtable next.
Hot take.
Go to selectquote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-329-1010. Details on example rate at selectquote.com.
Padres Rangers tomorrow.
We're going to hang a star for Fernando Tatis Jr.
Pre-game 4:05. First pitch 5:05. The Padres play here on 97.3 The Fan.
KWFN and KWFN HD1 San Diego.
Hey, this is Jason Adam from the San Diego Padres.
Strike three called. Great slider from Adam.
The Padres play here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
An Odyssey Sports Station.
These things, it even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here, don't hit it here.
Ben Higgins.
And welcome back, everybody. Welcome into a commercial-free hour of Padres Talk. It's our Epic Wings, Epic Padres Roundtable on 97.3 The Fan, brought to you by Epic Wings, always fresh, never frozen. And we have a brand new panelist joining us today, along with our usual crew. Braden Soprano down at the end.
What's up?
Stephen Woods.
Hi.
Next to me is Chris Ello. And joining us today is Padres blogger. You know him as Letters to AJ. Dylan is with us today. Dylan, thank you for taking some time and coming out from behind the screen and joining Padres fans in public here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I want to ask, before Dylan kind of speaks here, I want to ask all of you guys. Things have changed in baseball. I think in maybe 20 years ago when, blogs were first starting to become popular, traditional media may have looked down on, oh, these guys don't know what they're talking about. They're just fans. Honestly, for me, there's no Padres preparation without going through several bloggers, social media people that are just fans, because there is great insight out there that comes from beyond the teams, beyond the media, beyond the standard stuff that, Woods, I know that you feel the same way.
Yeah, I always have, man. Since we started doing the show together, it was like, why am I any better to talk about this team? I just was in the right place, right time, and there's a lot of smart people out there, and I'm sitting next to one of them right now that
that's the nicest thing you've ever said about
you're
Braden.
welcome. You're welcome. You read and you go, I never thought about it this way. And hey, look, there's times you read blogs or you listen to podcasts, you go, you couldn't be more off base. That happens. I'm sure people think that when they listen to us sometimes.
Absolutely. Braden, same kind of thing with you.
Yeah, I think there's just a lot of now that with social media and having your own platform and being able to everybody's able to create content. You're able to get a more collection of ideas. You're able to, hear a lot of different opinions that might turn you in a different direction. Back in the, back in the 90s when callers were like a big thing, like sure, you'd have a lot of people that were like saying some outlandish things, but there was a lot of educated callers too that now have a different type of platform and now maybe a longer platform to get their ideas and their opinions out there. And you're going to see a lot that you might not not agree with, but you're going to see a lot too. You're like, oh, I didn't think about it that way. I didn't look at it like that. And it just makes us, I think, more well-rounded baseball fans.
Chris, what about you? You're a little older school. Have you been able to adapt to the blog and social media landscape of covering baseball?
I've been able to adapt to people who write tweets that say I don't know anything about baseball, and the game
tweets are different.
The game is way different. The game has passed me by, and what am I talking about? I've come to appreciate a lot of it, there's really good ones out there. So we've all got good opinions, and it's nice that we have the ability to get them out there nowadays.
Well, in my opinion, Letters to AJ is really one of the best you're going to find. And Dylan, if I can ask, where does your Padres passion come from, and what was the inspiration to take time out of whatever your day looks like to put together the pieces and the insight that you do?
Well, the Padres passion comes from just growing up in San Diego. I think writing about it is extremely helpful for me to understand what's going on in the season. And baseball, this is a game of tremendous failure. So the best team in the league is going to lose 60 games. When you're watching every game, you're going to see a lot of losing. That can provoke a lot of anxiety along the way if you don't really know, is this, does this portend more losing, or is this just a bump in the road? Writing about it helps you understand it, helps you enjoy the season. When there's problems that are lingering for a while and you understand them and you know that there will be an end in sight, you can just sit back and relax and watch the game, enjoy it more. So just put that to writing, kind of put like what was existing in the group text for years into writing. That's basically the provenance of the blog.
Is that when you say when the end is in sight, you mean death, right? For all of us,
the sweet embrace,
the sweet embrace of death, right?
Yeah, one day it will mercifully all come to an end. But
just complaining about BABIP on your deathbed, for sure.
Well, this week's piece that you posted is about the ongoing struggles of Manny Machado, and can you just kind of give an overview for someone who didn't read it, or perhaps did read every single word and didn't totally understand it? Because it is one of the more fascinating developments of this Padres season. It's not Manny's having a bit of a down season. It's not that Manny's gotten a little unlucky. Manny's numbers have been shockingly bad for someone who is so consistently good over the years. And I'm sure the Padres are doing the same thing, in their front offices, trying to figure out exactly what's going on.
Well, it's definitely multifactorial. I decided to write about it basically because Manny went on record saying that there was a change that he made. He made a mechanical change that he does feel may have affected his swing timing. And just coincidentally, I think it was 2 days before he went on record with Kevin Acee saying that, Baseball Savant releases these tools that allow you to actually look at, to the millisecond, the swing timing at the point of contact. So we decided just to say, well, let's look at his intuition. We actually have the tools to see if his intuition is correct. And sure enough, what we found is when you just look at the raw data, like the on-time percentage hasn't changed a bit. When you look at the density plot of where within the window of contact is this on-time contact, it's actually skewed towards the late side of the contact window. And it doesn't sound like much, but 2 or 3, 4 or 5 milliseconds makes a big difference in terms of the quality of contact that you produce, even when you're technically on time. And so we found, his intuition's correct. And then we just looked a little bit deeper about the contextual factors, kind of the headwinds that maybe he's been facing. We found out no batter in baseball has faced more 98-mile-per-hour plus fastballs than Manny Machado. And a whole bunch of other Padres are on the top 10 leaderboard. That increases the degree of difficulty quite a bit, especially if you're a little out of sync with your timing. I took it a step further and looked at how Petco's been playing. It has been devouring contact like no other ballpark in baseball this year. And then lastly, kind of looked at okay, you're in a funk. He's identified this mechanical issue. Why doesn't he just fix it? Well, there's medical literature on what a hitter is doing in the box. They're not really making decisions about their mechanics. It's really trained reflexes. You can't really flip a switch and just train yourself back into, old mechanics. It takes time. Just putting that all together, I thought it actually created a clearer picture than we had up to this point of what's been going on with Manny.
I'm curious, just with this level of insight, have you ever had a front office, anyone, kind of reach out to you, or you remained kind of just where you are in your blog space?
100%.
Okay.
No, I think part of that is keeping a pretty low profile.
Yeah. This is going to raise it just a bit. Dylan, thank you for coming out here today.
Can you clear up what he just said?
Yeah, I know. Sorry, Chris. You lost him on data points, I think.
Pretty much. I'm curious what you thought. What did you think when Manny Machado himself came out a week and a half ago and said he's a little tired of all of this stuff and there's too many numbers up on the board? I don't think he was calling you out necessarily, but these are the kinds of things that I think a lot of the hitters now, or at least some of them, are saying kind of is clouding their whole mind when they're getting up to the plate. So what were your thoughts on hearing him say that?
You can never know what's really in someone's mind, but the first thing that intuitively came to me is, this sounds like somebody that's been kind of feeling like, I guess the analogy is like drinking out of a fire hose. So data is really helpful to make you make good decisions. But if you are just bombarded with so much data that it is not actually, clarifying the picture for you, but it's just creating lots of different trade-offs that are now clouding your judgment. My natural response to that would be like, can we get rid of some of these analytics, please? I have no idea if that's really, what was behind that, but that's what came to mind for me. And I think it's pretty relatable if that's the case. But Manny's the kind of guy that sometimes just is making off-the-cuff remarks, not necessarily his full conviction behind everything that he's saying. It could have been just a moment of frustration. All of those possibilities, I think, are in play.
It was an aside, right? Like no one said, Manny, how do you feel about analytics? It just randomly decided to say, we got to, by the way, while I'm here, while I got you guys, also analytics suck, right? And that was a little bit weird. It was kind of no one asked him, and he just offered up that information. And that is a common sentiment among some people in the game still. You still have these two factions, and they're pulling each other. And people use that word analytics as a dirty word. And it's really not. I'm not saying Manny should never know what FIP is. He doesn't really need to know. It may give him a little insight as to how nasty a pitcher actually is. But if he doesn't want to learn FIP and XWO bacon and all this stuff, he doesn't have to. But what he does need to know is this is the data. The data says you're late. This is what you used to look like. this is what you're looking like now, right? That's helpful.
I want to thank Dylan because I've been covering Manny for going on 8 years now. And I've always tried to want to explain, like, when Manny talks, sometimes what he says, and you said it perfectly, doesn't have his full conviction. Yeah. So we have to kind of parse whether, hey, do we take this totally seriously, what Manny is saying or not? And I never know because he says it publicly, so you can't ignore it. But you also can't always give it a ton of weight and say, this is who Manny is at his core because he said it at his locker one day after the game. And you're absolutely right. Not everything Manny says is said with full conviction and should be taken as the gospel according to Manny Machado.
I kind of extend that sort of view to, any athlete.
Sure.
They're in the situation where, I mean, similar, to people up here, but quite a lot of what they say is not just something that's put out there and then, the moment passes and that's it. It's recorded, it's analyzed, it's scrutinized. And that forces some people into a situation where they're never saying what's on their mind. I appreciate that he's willing to just kind of thought pops into his head and he'll just put it out there sometimes, but that doesn't always mean that, that's a declaration of like a thesis statement. This is something that he really wants to be an issue. Sometimes it could just be blowing off steam like we all do in our private lives.
Well, I know that Chris and Braden and Woods and I would never just talk to fill time when there's a microphone in front of our face. Everything we say,
milk sucks.
everything we
nobody
say
asked me, but
is said with full conviction at every moment of our lives
and planned out ahead of time.
All right, let's talk about the team. And again, our special guest is Letters to AJ, Padres blogger Dylan is with us. This can be a data-driven question or just a feel question completely. Braden, I'll start with you. Have the Padres made it through their darkest hours of 2026, or are there lower lows still to come?
Well, I think you got to wait for after they play the Braves, the Dodgers, and the
well,
Cubs
that's
before you
something
can
to think
really
about, certainly
make it through. I mean, I thought before they started this stretch on May 1st that this was going to be from May 1st to the All-Star break was going to be the toughest baseball that they'd had to play all season long based on the teams that they were playing and how those teams were currently playing, mixed with who are the traditional powers. And you look at the second half of the schedule, sure, the Rays are on it, but you got a lot of teams in the second half of the schedule that are expected to be sellers at the deadline that are not going to be, anything close to what they are right now. So I don't think they're out of the woods yet. I think they're going to continue to, kind of, I'm going to use the term grind through these next couple of games. But it just seems like the Padres have, gotten some teams that are hot at the right time, even like teams that you would expect them to do well against. And they're probably better than on paper, have been playing good baseball at the right time. So no, I don't think they're completely out of the woods yet, but I'm seeing more promising games out of them, if that makes sense. So I think they're starting to work their way out of it, but I'm not ready to say, like, it's okay, fans. They're going to sweep Texas this weekend and everything's going to be fine.
Chris, we have seen, if you break it down kind of over the last week and a half, and Kevin Acey had some of the numbers in his daily newsletter today, there has been a shift positively, offensively for the Padres of late. But is that a sign that they have turned some sort of corner and things are going to get better, or could things still get worse from here, over the next few
I don't want to
weeks?
say it's a fugazi that they're doing better. I will say that their team average for the season is 218, which is the lowest in baseball and almost historically low if they keep it up. And their batting average in June, as of right now, is 218. So I don't know how much better it's gotten. I think we've had a couple of games where it's looked like we hoped it would look. But if you want to look at the game yesterday, you can't forget about the two that preceded it, which were awful again. I don't know that they're at their lowest point. I think that they're going to have to, either make a change or, get somebody to come in and I've been talking about a different voice. Craig Stammen, I thought, answered that question really well on your guys' show yesterday. He doesn't think that's it. And so it's not going to be it, right? If he doesn't think that's it. So what's going to have to happen is the guys that are here are going to have to start doing better, or they're going to have to bring a couple of guys in to add to it. But no, I think if they keep the status quo, I think they run the risk of it continuing to get away from them.
It's our Epic Padres Roundtable, sponsored by Epic Wings, always fresh, never frozen. Dylan, I saw you kind of nodding when Braden was talking about the upcoming opponents and whether you think, is it the darkest before the dawn, or is there still some more tough days ahead for your Padres?
in the immediate future, there's tough days for sure. Like Braden said, there's some tough opponents coming up, even after the stretch with the Dodgers, the Braves. I mean, it's Diamondbacks, it's Blue Jays, World Series runners up. That's not necessarily a break. Looking beyond that, there's a couple things that should happen. So second half schedule should be a little bit lighter. The pitching that the Padres have faced has been above what any other team has faced in baseball, and that will normalize to some degree. And that
Jacob deGrom and Nathan Eovaldi coming up the next 2 days, of course.
We're going to be going right through the eye of the storm, but eventually, down the road, that should normalize to some degree. That said, I grew up a Padres fan. Everybody's heard this phrase growing up. When you're a Padres fan, rule number one is there's always a deeper darkness.
Always. Right?
So I actually hadn't heard that one, but I'm going to add it to my repertoire.
It's always in the back of your mind, or as my brother likes to say, it's always a false bottom. But let me frame that as we've been in the golden age of Padres baseball, and we have seen some things over the last few years that truly, growing up, you just don't think you're ever going to see that. So there's optimism for me that there maybe never would have been growing up watching this team. It's a different era, so I don't rule out that this Padres canonical rule of there's always a deeper darkness. At some point, we're going to break through that. I hope that that's this year.
Woods, you resonate with deeper darkness over there, I see.
No question. It's one of my favorite quotes that I've seen, and it's true. And baseball is just such an interesting game, and it's so long. And and I'm guilty as the next guy. I have let myself treat it like an NFL season too many times, right? Instead of taking a stand, it probably comes with the territory of talking about it every day. But even if I wasn't, I would probably still feel the same way. Instead of looking at a series, you look at each game, each inning, pitch by pitch, and you just want to die when you see them not execute the little things. And then it leads to the questions about, do they have the right approach? And can you define approach? Oh, you can't, right? Like, what then is the right hitting coach there? Who is the right hitting coach? Because we've never seen one. It's been a long time since there's been a really good hitting coach. So it's hard, man. It's hard to sit and go, yeah, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. There it is. I don't feel that way necessarily about this team, especially as it's currently constructed, right? If you get guys back and they're healthy and hitting, and if you get guys back and they're healthy and pitching, and if you make a couple of really savvy moves, yes, there's the light. But I don't really see it right now today.
We've chewed on a lot of epic wings this season talking about Fernando Tatis Jr. I don't think anyone up here is going to disagree. He's looked a lot better lately, a lot better, whether it's the open stance, whether it's just confidence. I don't know, but I think the question now, I'll start with Dylan, our guest, letters to AJ. What's now the best way to maximize the value of Fernando Tatis Jr.? I mean, right field, second base, where he is in the order, considering not hitting for home runs, but certainly hitting the ball hard. My goodness, he stung the ball yesterday, just stung it against the Cardinals. How do they now make the most of what they have in Fernando Tatis Jr.?
Well, there's a move recently, it was a bit sad to see it happen, but they moved on from Nick Castellanos. And in his place, they've had some call-ups. They've had Samad Taylor, Jace Bowen playing the outfield. That's quite a big step up defensively. And what that means is that even though that's moving on from a player that did some things well, while Castellanos was the option in the outfield when Fernando's on the infield, you're incurring an enormous defensive opportunity cost when you have Fernando playing the infield. That has shrunk quite a bit now that there's two more athletic outfielders on the roster. And Fernando's been quite good at second base. He's actually racked up a pretty good outs above average, and he just looks the part. And, I think it's probably safe to say he's the most athletic second baseman in baseball.
History.
With the best arm. It's not even that far-fetched. He's such a nuclear athlete. But he plays it well. And he looks like he loves it.
Yep.
And who knows if this is just coincidental, but he has been getting right at the plate. He's been playing great defense. And now you're not incurring that massive opportunity cost of not having him in right field. That gap is shrunk a bit with better athletes out there. So there's just more flexibility. There's more ability for, Stammen to look at the matchups night to night and just decide, let's change things around. And there's optionality where it was pretty rigid when your option for right field was going to be Castellanos versus Tatis. That's a huge drop. Now you can kind of pick and choose, and you have different alignments that you can roll out based on what you think gives you the best chance that night.
Woods, is this like Mookie Betts plus maybe with Fernando, or you can put him where you want? Dylan, go ahead and answer because you just gave me a look.
It's a good analogy, although I mean, I would between the two, who are you taking at this point?
I'm taking Fernando right now. It's a no-brainer. It's not even close. I mean, take the rings out of it. But like the player that they are today, June 18th or whatever, it's a no-brainer. Fernando Tatis Jr. all day long. I wondered if Xander was out for any length of time, if they would have put him in short. You know, if Xander, that hit by pitch the other day had knocked him out, and you could put Song at second, and I wondered if Xander's out for any length of time, is Fernando Tatis Jr. your shortstop again? And I think it's cool that they did this year. We've been down to batting practice. We've seen him take ground balls for years. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, he just loves taking ground balls because he grew up on the infielder. What infielder doesn't? Well, it turns out, they had this plan, in the offseason, like, hey, what would you think about this? And I think it can open up a lot of possibilities for this team. And he looks phenomenal. The double play he turned, running across the bag, the throw he made was like, it was ungodly.
Incredible.
It was incredible. I mean, and it was right in the chest. Boom. He knows what he's doing in the infield, certainly. And, I think he got a bad rap when he played short here. He had a first baseman that was horrible at picking balls. And think about Freddie. Think about how much Freddie has saved Mookie and all of his infielders because he's so good at picking the ball. It just everything is magnified, right? And so he's been great there. And I kind of like leaving him there. Or if you need him, he can go do that.
Chris, with as Dylan mentioned, they added speed, and we saw Samad Taylor hitting second for the first time in the lineup. I think we'd all be loath maybe to move Fernando out of the leadoff spot because he's hitting so well, but there are more options there. Do you consider moving him down to drive in more runs? Because they're not putting anyone on in front of him for the most part at the bottom of the order. I mean, Ty France has fallen off a map. Sungwon Song looks like he got a hit yesterday. It was the most shocking thing of the season, essentially. And you've got Fernando then batting after a catcher and Duran's hitting still about 100. I mean, those are the three guys leading up to your best hitter right now. How can that possibly be the best place for him? But that's where he's been doing well. So you're really afraid to move him out of there too.
Yeah, I got to keep him where he is. I mean, he's been really successful. I don't have all of the numbers other than the ones that Adam Klug sent me the other day, which says he's hitting about 150 points higher playing second base than right field. For whatever that's worth, I would keep him at second base because it's getting those young guys out in the outfield. And I don't know. He's the consummate leadoff hitter right now. He's still hitting mostly singles. He had a double yesterday, might have had a second. And, he's stealing a lot of bases. Still only got 2 home runs. I don't put him in the middle of the order yet. I mean, till further notice, I think he's right where he should be. I didn't mind Samad Taylor hitting second, but that was yesterday. We go for 5 hits over the next 2 games against the Rangers. It might be time to move him around again.
And Braden, your thoughts on maximizing the value of what you have in Fernando Tatis Jr.?
Yeah, I think second base is the place right now because of the all the reasons that you guys said, but also on the same point of for a guy that hits as well as he does, you're not going to find that at second base in the open market pretty much anywhere, whether it be free agency or, a trade. I mean, he brings more value to you than a Luis Ariz does, right? Because he can, I know he's only got 2 home runs, but we know Fernando can hit a lot more home runs than 2. And I think it's a lot easier to get outfield help and corner outfield help, and the fact that you have, as Dylan mentioned, athletic corner outfielders right now defensively. I mean, the only reason why you would have an argument not to have him play second was, you're taking a platinum glove winner out of right field and replacing with a guy that probably shouldn't be out there to shag, let alone to be out there in a major league game. But, I think with the young guys being able to fill the defensive role, it opens up your roster to make a lot of different changes via the trade deadline, and it opens up your ability to revamp a lineup that really needs some swing. And on top of that, too, I've been an advocate for Fernando hitting leadoff since he got here. So, his numbers, you finally got him back to what he's been. I'm not changing that at all for the rest of the year. Plus, You have had zero success out of anybody being a leadoff hitter but Fernando this year. You got to try to find a way to score early, as we've seen on the stats. You can't not have him in the leadoff spot, I think, for the rest of the year.
It's our Epic Padres Roundtable on 97.3 The Fan, brought to you by Epic Wings, always fresh, never frozen. Got another somewhat of a feel question, and when I thought of it, I couldn't really answer it, which means I feel like it's a pretty good question. So this has to do with the Padres starting pitching staff. Chris, is this pitching staff as a whole getting better, getting worse, or staying the same? Because I'm not even sure. Are they? What are they doing right now? The starting staff?
I think they're getting worse.
They're getting worse.
Yeah, I felt a lot more confident in April.
Okay.
And on into May.
When German Marquez was in there, and
I felt more confident
Matt
in the guys that are still
in there. I just don't know.
Well, first of all, Griffin Canning is starting to drive me a little crazy. I know he got his first win yesterday. He's behind every hitter, and I can't deal with that. So, one of these days he's going to have to get that straightened out and start attacking hitters. Lucas Giolito, to this point, needs an opener as well. So we got 40% of the staff needs an opener, and we got Michael King pitching as poorly as he has in some time. And Vasquez has taken huge steps back since April. Walker Buehler might be the guy I have the most confidence in at the moment.
Crazy.
So that is saying that from April to now, it's worse.
Okay. Dylan, do you feel like they're heading in the right direction, wrong direction, or treading water as a pitching staff?
There's just forces moving different directions.
So many.
So, yeah, the quality of the opponent is changing. With each of the individual pitchers, you can kind of identify some things that are going better, some things are going worse. I think what shocked me the most with Giolito, for example, you're glad he's on the market. You're glad you have kind of you think an off-the-shelf replacement for, not exactly what Pivetta was going to provide, but like some of that. We actually did a kind of prospectus on him based on how he pitched last year, and it didn't look too bad, but he came in throwing 89 miles an hour, which was not what he was doing, last year towards the end of the season. We don't know what's behind that, but for sure that has been part of why he has been, ineffective essentially. His velocity's ticked up a little bit over the last two starts, and if that eventually lands back at that 93, can dial it up to 94 mile an hour fastball, then you might have an effective pitcher on your hands. But if it doesn't get better, the trend isn't necessarily going to get worse, but it's been unacceptable, I think, over the course of the season. Walker Buehler is a good pitcher to highlight because he's in the midst of reinventing himself. He used to be a power arm, and now he is a 7-pitch mix guy trying to master all 7 pitches, but he has been making strides. He's been trending the right direction, but it's worrisome what you've seen from King and from Griffin Canning and even from Vasquez, especially with King and with Griffin Canning not putting away hitters with 2 strikes. And then, as you said, with Griffin Canning just playing from behind all the time, getting behind 2-0, 3-0, 3-1, and just getting yourself into trouble. There's no easy solutions there. So, yeah, pretty high level of alarm for the state of the starting pitch.
All right, another downward vote. Woods. Now, yeah, the 5 they have now, but we did talk on our show that the depth is perhaps with German Marquez pitching well at AAA, Johnny Brito pitching well at AAA. They may have more options if they need to go to that. And I mean, I don't know if that's makes anyone feel better about the Padres pitching staff.
No, it's just guy after guy after guy. There's no dudes on this in this rotation right now, well, except for Walker maybe. And again, the reinvention of Walker Buehler has been fascinating. I never would have thought I'd be rooting so hard for Walker Buehler of all people. But he really is a competitor, right? And he is, talk about Nicky P and what he brought with much better stuff, obviously, than Walker. But you need those guys on your staff. You do. And, Randy was a tough one for me because he came in such better shape and the velo was up. The last few starts for me, I'm like, all right, we should be down 9-0. Like they're missing cement mixers down the middle, and we got lucky and they hit some hard balls right at guys, and you need a little bit of that as you move through the season. But he terrifies me when he takes them up. Michael King too, it just looks like he's been fighting himself all year, and you want to get back to that nasty Michael King that shut out the Dodgers 1-0, right? And you don't expect that every single time, but we kind of did with Michael King because he was in such a groove before he got hurt. And I think, not pitching a lot last year hurt him. I don't know, Benny. We say it all the time. This team leaves us in like baseball purgatory because they never go out and get shelled. Like they don't just get ripped. Like, oh my God, it's 8-0 in the second. They're always, it's kind of like 4-1, 4-2, 3-1. And they're doing enough and they're keeping us afloat right now. Again, the offense needs to take some of this weight off their shoulders.
I think what you just said, and Braden, you can comment on this as well. Padres need a dog, and not just mentally. Walker Buehler mentally, Randy Vasquez mentally very tough, I think, out there on the mound. I think Michael King is actually as well, but they need a dog with really good stuff, and they seem to go against one of those every series. I mean, the Mizorowskis, the guys just nasty guys that you feel we're probably going to win today because we got that guy on the mound. You never feel that. I haven't felt that one day this season that the Padres are probably going to win today because we've got so-and-so on the mound. Not one day.
Not one. They don't have an ace. They have a one. Like Michael King's good enough to be a one, but he's not an ace. I think there's a big difference between an ace and a one. Huge. And I think you're seeing that right now. In terms of the overall pitching, we ran a bunch of reports on their analytics, especially with Giolito and Canning, that tell you they're obviously both not getting better. I will say that. It's said at the sense of like, because of the fact that their stuff is still league average to better, and a lot of its command, they are probably treading water more than anything else. Specifically Griffin Canning. Now, Lucas Giolito reports were coming back as trending flat to now a slight downtrend in his 6 starts that he has had in a Padres uniform. Obviously, as Dylan mentioned, the velo's incredibly down. They got like an average, below average pitching staff. I mean, they got guys that are going to like pitch well enough to give you a chance to win, but that's not great when your offense is hitting 218, right? Like if you took this pitching staff and put it on any of the other contending teams, they're probably still winning games. Like they're good enough to win you games. They're not as Wood said, they're not just getting shelled every single night. But unfortunately, you're hitting 218 as a team. You're not driving in runs. You have all these duds that are mixed in. So that's why you have these games where like, hey, look, the offense showed up. We went out there and won the game. But if the pitching staff's got to carry this team, aside from the bullpen, who's been, pretty much good the entire season, your starting staff has to carry you this season. It's not going to be very good. And I don't even think bringing in one guy is going to help that if your offense continues to hit 218.
Hence the 0.3 chance of winning the World Series.
Yes. Well, as we talked about on the show today, if they got to the playoffs, man, I mean, bullpen day. As many as you can throw out there,
you can win
which
like
you can
kind of
do in the playoffs. 2 starters in a bullpen will win you.
You can't really get there with that strategy. No. So
there's one thing that has been different. I mean, we kind of mentioned it in passing, but yeah, when you're using an opener, that's an acknowledgement that something's wrong with your starting pitching.
Right.
But not acknowledging that doesn't give you a better chance to win. They're actually acknowledging it, and they're using an opener, and they're taking care of the other team's best 3 hitters, inserting the Bolt guy after that with a slightly easier, challenge in front of him to pretty decent effect, which has always been what the data shows with the use of openers. And that's some flexibility that I don't recall seeing in any season recently.
We brought up something yesterday that Tony talked about, and I agree with 100%, though, that I think is in defense of the starting pitching that we're not haven't talked about. We're probably thinking about it. I think when you're pitching and starting, especially for a team that can't score, I think the pressure is on you from the very first batter of the game.
No doubt, man.
And I believe that even though they consciously may not say it, they might be nibbling from the very beginning of the game. And that is why we're getting behind. Right? That is why we're trailing in the count and walking guys. I was thinking of it the other night. I mean, if you get a guy on base and you groove one to Burleson in the bottom of the first, it's 2-0, game over.
Game over. Right.
That's too much pressure for any staff to bear. So the offense actually, I think, has to take some of the responsibility for the struggles of the starting pitching, even though it may not be a conscious connection.
It's our Padres Roundtable, Epic Padres Roundtable, brought to you by Epic Wings, always fresh, never frozen. Kind of a fun question here, but it's going to start with our special guest panelist, letters to AJ. Dylan, how did you decide to come up with the name for your...
I think it was just because it wasn't really like a newsletter intended for mass distribution. I think the first thing we wrote about was before the Juan Soto trade. We were watching a lot of coverage, and the coverage was just sort of treating it like any other kind of deadline deal. But there was such a fundamental difference between the Juan Soto trade and your usual, trading for an expiring contract for a star that you're renting for 3 months. This was a trade where you're actually going to retain a lot of the value that you send out, more so than your typical trade. We just weren't hearing a lot of coverage of that. So we just decided we wanted to put that into print, also to kind of think through it and see if we're way off base. And then somebody was like, why don't you just send that letter with your thoughts to AJ? And I'm like, well, Substack makes you choose a title for your newsletter. So we just chose letters to AJ, and it stuck. And again, this was just kind of putting thoughts down for ourselves and distributing it to friends and family. And then it stuck because that's the name now.
You should send actual letters to AJ, like literal
stamped envelope. Well, that's the question for my colleagues here. If you had one chance to write a letter to AJ, what would you put in that letter that you want to say? Get off your chest to the Padres president of baseball operations, general manager.
I think everybody's going to be unsatisfied with this answer, but if I wrote a letter to anybody in the front office, it would just be a thank you letter. I grew up here. I've been watching the Padres since I think I was old enough to start understanding what I was watching, like in probably even like the late 80s, early 90s. And it's been my favorite team to watch that whole time. And like I said earlier, like this has been the golden era. So that's not a very satisfying answer, but it would just be a thank you.
I think I would just say, don't trade Ethan Salas for this team. That would be in my letter to AJ right now. I mean, if you really showed me something over the next month and a half, I guess, and you could show me what the return was going to be. But at this moment, I don't see a pathway to give up something like that for this team right now. So that would be in my letter to AJ.
That would be the PS. Don't trade Ethan Salas.
Chris, you going to write a letter to AJ?
I want to know how I get in his 6 a.m. basketball game. I want a chance to stop Tony Gwynn from driving to the hoop.
I can help you with that if you really want to get in there. But it's a serious game.
I know.
It's a serious game. Your knees are going to be left on the court at some point. Braden?
Yeah, I think AJ does a good job. I would like to see AJ turn around though and write a letter to Dylan, just to even things out a little bit.
Letters to Dylan.
AJ's his own bird. He could reach out to you at any moment.
Yeah, he could do it.
You never know with AJ.
I would write that when his career is over, to write a book about the trades he makes, because I want to know these conversations. I want to know what makes him tick. I want to know what gets him excited to do these moves. Like, is he just like a baseball junkie? Like because the entire time I think a lot of people, when it comes to like front office stuff, think about Moneyball, and they think about the scene where they're in there and they got the whiteboard and they're making call, like the trade deadline day, right? And it seems like the coolest thing ever. And that was like boring compared to what AJ's doing, right? And I had the ability to talk with Billy Epler not too long ago, because I saw him at career day for Cathedral. He's an alumni, and he just told me one story about dealing with AJ, and it was fascinating to hear the conversations. And he likes AJ, and then they're all at the same time. Like, all these GMs are like, they're colleagues. They have to work with each other all the time. But I think it would be fascinating to know the details of a lot of these trades. After he's done, he doesn't show his cards, right, where he's like, he gives you the yeah, right, like answer. It would be fascinating to know what drove him to get certain players, why, because they just had the report the other day from like John Fisher. It said like we had zero interest in trading Mason Miller until they called, right? Like, I would love to know that, like, what are they coming up with? Like the ins and outs after he retires, where it's not a thing anymore. I would find that to be fascinating. An AJ Preller book.
Woods, you got a letter to AJ?
Yeah, I mean, I write him all the time. He never writes me back.
That's good. That's a good point.
Every time I text him, I haven't gotten one back in years. But I think, man, I must be getting old and soft, because now mine would say, hey, be careful, right? Be careful moving forward. No, I'd ask you to actually assess what you have on the field and what it projects to be, and be careful with your future, because you are great at finding talent and drafting well and scouring the ends of the earth. We all know that. It'd be kind of cool to have a better pipeline right now based on what you have on the field. So just and now if you can go get, you can find a way to get Nick Kurtz in here and give him an extension, do what you have to do. I will go to Las Vegas. Trade everybody and anybody if you find a guy like that can be a franchise changer. But man, I'm fully expecting this team at the deadline to be around, 500, like we talked about. Buy on the margins, be smart, get a little fleecing going. It'd be nice to see him fleece someone again, right? I feel like, and we don't know how these trades.
Well, we're going to Texas this weekend. Haven't we fleeced them a few times over the years?
We have, but like Kansas City fleeced us. We know that for me. Collect's like top 5 in most pitching categories right now. You've let some guys walk you probably shouldn't have. I think I'm in the mode now of like, all right, man, be careful. Let's strike. I know the window is getting smaller. These guys are getting older. I know there's a lockout coming. I know all of this, but we do have new ownership coming in as well. And so be careful, be judicious. It's a new stance for me. But the throwing stuff at the wall hasn't really worked recently. It's been a lot of one and dones and heartbreak and things like that. Be judicious.
By the way, Braden, I would definitely want to read that book at the end of AJ's career.
He never would, by the way.
And no, not just the trades, but like, all right, which ones did you really want to do? Which ones did management make you do? The extensions, everything like that. I would love to see all the behind the scenes.
Don't you want
details.
to know, like, when he just says just a second and picks up the phone and walks over into the corner, like, what's he talking about?
To on the phone all the time.
Right, yeah.
All right, it's time for our 7th inning stretch here on our Epic Padres Roundtable, brought to you by Epic Wings, always fresh, never frozen. Dylan, this is the point of the show where we ask a non-baseball question. We got the NASCAR race coming this weekend to Coronado. So I thought, Braden, what is the most thrilling thing that you have ever done in your life?
Most thrilling
thing?
I'm not really a thrill seeker.
I'm not either at all.
Ben might have done more thrilling things than I have done in the past. I don't know, man. That's a tough question off the top. Does anybody have like an answer like ready to go? I have to think about that for a second.
All right. Anyone want to just jump in? Chris, what was the most thrilling thing that you did?
Well, I don't know what it's like to jump out of an airplane because I've never done the skydiving thing, but I imagine the feeling you get in your heart and in your body is similar to the one I got a few years ago when we were in Tahiti and we went on a excursion and went swimming in the ocean with sharks, and the sharks were not in the cages.
You weren't in the cages either?
No.
I think you're supposed to be in the cage.
I thought something was amiss. I really did. Part of that excursion was to go to a coral reef before we visited the sharks. And wouldn't you know it, I bloodied my foot on the coral reef, which I believe is what sharks are attracted to.
Man.
That's very thrilling.
That is.
So we went, over there, and it was just what do you say? I distrusted the guy, right? I trusted that every day he brought people here and that they didn't all get eaten. And so we went in, and Lori, I talked her into it too. And yeah, that made the hair on the back of your neck stand up a little bit. So,
well, I once sat at a red light for like 3 minutes. It didn't turn, so I just went right through it.
Yeah, that's exhilarating.
Yes. It was thrilling. What a moment that was. Dylan, what was the most thrilling thing you've ever done?
Well, I can answer jumping out of an airplane.
You did.
Chris. That's thrilling, but I think so. Thrilling can mean like thrilling, exhilarating, fun.
Yeah.
But there's an inflection point where it starts to mean like harrowing or traumatizing, and I definitely found that inflection point. For me, it's big wave surfing. So when you get to the point where you're having fun, but then you're a little out of your depth, it suddenly becomes the latter. It suddenly becomes harrowing and traumatizing. I'd say a friend of mine and I went down to Costa Rica for 3 weeks and found an isolated surf spot, and it was a little bit big, probably big enough that we should have thought the better of it.
How big?
When a good set was coming in, it was 12 to 15.
Oh my God, dude. Are you kidding me?
But those were like the rogue waves. It was, 8 to 10 most of the time.
8 to 10 is so big. It's huge.
But the inflection point is right around there.
Oh
but I got caught inside on a rogue wave, got sucked under, broke my board in half. Discovered the harrowing, traumatizing part of the definition of thrilling in that experience.
Unreal.
How long did it take you to get your pulse back to even when you ran that stop sign?
It was a while. I'm not a thrill seeker at all. In fact, I actively avoid thrills of any kind.
Yeah.
I will say the first time I was on television live was pretty
thrilling, I guess.
Pretty thrilling and pretty nerve-wracking at that moment.
I mean, don't we do thrilling things every day for most people? People don't like public speaking. We do it for 4 hours every day. I guess that's.
Oh, and Woods and I hosted a roast about a year ago.
That was thrilling.
That got my heart thumping a little bit. Woods, what about you?
There's little kids in here, dude. I can't. I cannot. It's mixed combination.
Are you going to put that in AJ Preller's book? There'll be the site. Woods' thrilling adventures.
I am such a scaredy cat, man. I really am. Like I don't jump out of planes. I watched my girlfriend at the time, now wife, do it, and I almost died. The standing on the ground watching her. I'm not a thrill seeker. I mean, not in that traditional sense of seeking thrills, jumping out of stuff.
You're not an adrenaline junkie.
No. I don't even like Ferris wheels, dude. Like for real, I'm terrified of like Ferris wheels and heights and things like that. I did do the thing that you get in to like the little pod. They strap you down and it bungees you way up into the air.
Why would you do that?
Why? Shot or whatever.
Why?
I was young. We were in Australia.
You're trying to impress a girl.
No, it's just me and my brother. And I go, let's do it. And he said, all right. And it was horrible.
It was thrilling or traumatizing?
It was horrible. I mean, it was absolutely horrible. I hated every second.
Did you guys film it?
No. Well, they had the thing. My dad was too cheap to pay for the video.
Man.
So yeah.
Brandon, did you come up with anything?
Nothing really thrilling. I mean, I think the adrenaline rush stuff, the most adrenaline I get is coaching football in high school football. It gets pretty adrenaline rush. I mean, I've opened up my car and gone really fast lots of times, but I don't know how thrilling that is. I'm like you, Ben. I'm not a huge thrill seeker. I think when I was younger, I did pass somebody on like Pomerado Road, which is probably not a great idea. I did do that at a very high speed when I was younger. I highly recommend not doing that.
Do that.
That's probably not a great idea.
Braden is right, though, when you talk about public speaking being the number one thing people are scared of. Dying is number two. And
isn't that a Seinfeld joke?
To that extent, Jerry Seinfeld famously said, so that means if there is a funeral, you'd rather be in the casket than speaking.
Yeah, they give it
delivering the ceremony. Yeah.
All right, last few minutes. I got a fill in the blank question for the panel here. Finish this sentence. If the Padres make the playoffs, it will be because blank.
Good one.
This is not your match game that we used to play on the radio.
You want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Manny Machado gets to 225 and Fernando gets to 20 home runs.
Okay. It's going to be just the Stars offensively.
Stars are going to have to carry us. Wouldn't hurt if Jackson Merrill picked it up as well.
Dylan, letters to AJ. What's your answer?
That's exactly what came to mind. It's the tentpole Stars getting right. That's going to carry them into the playoffs.
I'm going to say, and Woods, you kind of alluded to it, AJ gets it right at the trade deadline. And what he adds, hopefully like a bat, is actually helpful to the lineup. Because if he doesn't, I don't even know. I mean, yeah, sure. If Manny and Fernando go on a second half tear like no other, of course the Padres are going to make the playoffs. I'm not counting on that at this point, but they're going to hang around and AJ's going to make a move. He's got to get it right, though. I mean, they've made the playoffs and he's gotten it wrong before. We've seen that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, that didn't help at all, and they still sneak in the playoffs. And that's not going to happen this year. They're not going to be able to make the wrong move at the trade deadline and still get to the playoffs. So this year, the pressure is on AJ Preller. You got to get it right, whatever he does. Woods, fill in the blank.
Oh, I think Jace Bowen's got to start hitting better. No, yeah, I think all you guys have great points. The first thing that popped to my head was Manny, though, obviously. Like, and, if he gets it going, which is, milliseconds away, according to my pal Dylan here, you're just milliseconds away. If he gets it going, he's shown the ability to carry this ball club. So Toddy's already gotten it going. He's gotten it going. He's going. He's not hitting the ball over the fence, but, man, I sure love watching him hit now, whereas I did not about 6 weeks ago when everybody
last couple of days, I felt differently. Like, Fernando's coming up next
100%.
inning. I didn't go wherever I didn't go change. Like, I got to sit down for a few more minutes and make sure I see him back.
It wasn't changed.
It's been a while.
Time, right?
It's been a while.
And he is, when he's at his best, he is a force, man, a full-on cyclone of a baseball player, and one that the team that they're playing, the Texas Rangers, that are managed by Skip Schumacher. Skip Schumacher has told me a dozen times, Fernando Tatis Jr. is my favorite player in Major League Baseball, my favorite. And I asked him, like, really? He goes, by far. Now, Skip is as old school as it gets. That's his favorite player in baseball. That should tell you something.
Braden, finish the sentence. If the Padres make the playoffs, it will be because blank.
Things normalize like we think they're going to normalize. Like Dylan said, I mean, they've faced the most, 98+ mile an hour fastball throwers all year. I mean, it has honestly been a perfect storm for them to be this bad, and they still have a winning record, and they're still in the final wild card spot.
It's crazy.
Despite all of this, I think things will normalize for a lot of these guys. And I know that's hard to sell to a lot of Padres fans, but it's been like that the last 3 or 4 years. The years they make the playoffs. I mean, what was it, 2024, when everybody thought they were going to win the World Series? They're 50-50 at the 100 game mark. I mean, I'm not saying that that's a key to success, but it magically it's slightly better now than it was a couple of years ago when people thought that they could win the World Series. So I think things need to normalize a little bit, but it's everything that you guys said.
Does anyone think that sentence should end with Nick Pivetta and or Joe Musgrove comes back the last month and a half, 2 months of the season and pitches like those guys can pitch?
I think that's icing. I think that's the cherry on top if you get that.
Yeah.
I'm not counting on that stuff.
I think it's exactly right. If that happens, then that could be the force that pushes you over the top. But that's a hope. That's not a plan. But baseball is the least deterministic sport of all the major sports. It's the hardest to prognosticate, which is why it's the most interesting and why it's the most anxiety provoking and aggravating to follow on a game-to-game basis. But despite it all, the record is actually in playoff contention, and that's not nothing. We can't know how the rest of the season's going to go, but you have no choice. You just got to keep the faith.
I think if Pivetta and Musgrove could come back, that would increase their chances of winning if they got to the playoffs.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
well, there's still some time. Last minute or so, I want to thank our guest, Letters to AJ Dillon, for being with us. And
he's pretty smart. I got
peeling back the curtain. He's very smart.
I want to say, Dylan, that was really a lot of really intelligent, good stuff.
Will you write about this experience at all?
The analytics of what Chris Ello talks
He always
about.
wants a headline. He always wants a headline.
I mean, I guess I get to decide that.
You do.
So
You're the editor-in-chief of
I can decide to do that.
Letters to AJ.
Yeah, and I will. And thanks for having me. This
You
has
crushed
actually
it.
been fun.
It was awesome.
All right, we will be back next Thursday with another edition of our commercial-free Padres Roundtable. Who is our guest next week? Do we know, Adam? Oh,
What?
Jesse Agler and Tony Gwynn Jr., the radio play-by-play team.
What, Dave Marcus said no?
For your San Diego Padres here on 97.3 The Fan. That will be very exciting. Another very smart person in Jesse Agler to take the seat here as we talk
And
Padres
Tony
baseball.
Gwynn Jr.
Yeah, well, I always love having Tony, of course.
That's what. No wonder he hates you. He doesn't. He hates you.
Wow.
Doesn't hate me.
That
It's
Norder's
fine.
never here, Ben. And you're
Man.
scaring him off all the time.
That's fine. Jesse's never been on, though. It'll be great to have him on the first roundtable. Again, thanks to Epic Wings. Don't forget Wing Wednesdays. They are really fantastic.
So
Woods
good.
and I have fallen in love with Epic Wings.
Stop yapping so I can
Oh,
go
yeah, I
eat
know.
some here in 80 seconds.
I gotta get us another like 30, 40 seconds here. I was right in the no man's land. If I ask another question, we're gonna go way over. If I don't, we're just gonna have to sillily vamp for about 40 seconds.
There's nobody better in the business. by the way.
No, apparently not. All right, that's it. We're done.
Is this a thrill for you, Ben?
Thank you for joining us this week on our Epic Wings, Epic Padres Roundtable for Braden Soprenin, Stephen Woods, Chris L, and our special guest Dylan from Letters to AJ. I'm Ben Higgins. Have a great week from all of us here at San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Every group chat has that sports convo. We just do it on the